Okay. Okay, I see somebody in the chat right now. Okay. Hi, Glenn, Philippe. I really don't know what's going on because I did a live stream. I kid you not. I just did a live stream for 45 minutes from 4 o'clock. I'm sorry, from 9 o'clock until 4:45. And for some reason, I didn't see any action. I didn't see anybody in the chat. And so I decided, okay, well, I'm going to double check it on my computer. And I saw that everybody was waiting on the video and it never launched. I don't know why. I really don't know what's going on. So, let's see here. Let me see if this one is the one that's going right now. Is this the one that's going? Yes, okay. Good. Okay. So, I see Glenn, Philippe, John Paul. Hello, hello. Hey, Atori. And hello, everyone. I'm sorry for the nonsense. I feel like a fool now because I was on here on time at exactly 9 o'clock. I started, well, rather, actually it was 9:04 because I had it scheduled for 9:04. But I was ready at 9 o'clock. I was sitting down, and let me turn this off. And for some stupid reason, I realized when I pulled it up on my computer, it was still just showing my thumbnail and the live chat, but it didn't actually have the feed going. So, crazy. Anyway, I guess that was just a test run. Now I have all of the knowledge of my past videos, so maybe I can be more succinct and specific and concise than I was in my last video. But yeah. I'm still trying to get my SIM card to work with this phone. The one that I'm using right now for the live stream is a OnePlus 9 Pro. I'm really, really glad that I was able to get it. But the problem is it's not unlocked yet. I'm waiting for an unlock code before I can put my SIM card in it. So I have to use my old phone Wi-Fi on that. But it is Rakuten, so I should have a decent connection. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to warn you up front that if for some reason the connection drops, just give me a moment. I'm going to reconnect because this phone has been acting very stupid ever since I got my new SIM card. Suddenly, it will just completely disconnect from the network. Just completely disconnects. No cell signal, no data, nothing. So I have to turn on airplane mode and then turn it back on and then turn the hotspot back on in order to get my feed back. So don't worry if the connection stops for a second. That just means I have to fix it, but I'll try to stay on top of that so it's not too stupid. So I apologize in advance if that happens. It figures that I would do my last stream, and it didn't happen at all. The connection was good the whole time, but of course it was a waste of time. I wasn't talking to anybody. But yeah, I don't have to use my antenna anymore. I'm not on Docomo, so I don't need to use the antenna. I have coverage here. So it should all be good. It should be. As long as my stupid old phone doesn't disconnect, then we shouldn't have any problems because my signal here is just fine. I'm having some green tea. If you guys are having anything to drink, then kanpai or cheers. It's gotten cold. I need to warm up my water right quick. But listen, today's video, it's very simple. I'm going to tell you a few rules about the giveaway, and then I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've got for the giveaway. And then after that, any questions or whatever that you might have, we can cover those. But that's pretty much it. 1 second, let me turn my hot water kettle on. Let me see if I can turn this. Whoops, wrong way. I've been kind of cleaning in here, but it's a little messy. There we go. Just gonna heat up some water and make a little more green tea. It's not as cold in here as it is outside, but it's still chilly. The temperature in here right now is 11.2 degrees. I prefer the room to be about 17 degrees Celsius whenever I'm getting ready for bed and sleeping. It's just better. But right now it's about 11.2. It's a little chilly, but hopefully it'll get a little warmer. Anyway. Okay. So, here we are. The giveaway. Very, very simple. Okay. There are a few main things that you have to do. 3 can be done very quickly, and the 4th one takes a little bit more, but it's all together, four main steps. Not very difficult at all. Very, very simple. Okay, first one, very easy. Like this video. That's the first thing, okay? The reason I'm asking you to do the like is primarily because it gets to more people. And that helps me out. It helps my channel. It helps me to grow and get more people involved. And YouTube basically counts 1 view as anyone who stays on the video for at least 30 seconds or so. And out of all the views I get on my channel, they say that only about they say about 70% of my views come from people who aren't even subscribers. And so getting my videos out there to more people, to get more, to build up the community more and to build up my subs more, liking is part of that algorithm help. So that's the first thing. You have to like this video. The second thing is you actually have to be a subscriber to my channel. So if you're interested in this giveaway, there's no way to win the giveaway unless you're a subscriber. It just so happens that when I log into the YouTube studio, it tells me who's a subscriber and who's not. So if you try to enter the giveaway and you're not a subscriber, I can see that, and so you won't qualify to win. So just keep that in mind. Very easy. Just subscribe to my channel. The third thing is you're going to have to leave a comment on this video, but not just any comment. It needs to be a little specific. So what's the specific comment I need you to leave for the giveaway? Very simple. On this video, in the comment section, just write on there and tell me what it is that draws you to my channel, what it is that you like about my channel or appreciate about my channel, something positive. I'm not looking for criticisms or suggestions. I don't even need praise. Okay, I just want something positive. For me, the holidays are coming up. It's almost American Thanksgiving. You know, Christmas is coming up. To me, this is a very special season, and I'm going to be spending a lot of it by myself as usual. It's not my preference, and so I think it would really help me out to hear some reasons why you appreciate what I'm doing with my channel. It can be about something related to my life, or something related to the house, but something that, what is special to you or interesting to you or that you like about English Virra, Aki Kominka Life, my channel, or what I'm doing through my channel, in your opinion, okay? Don't be generalized. So don't just say, in the comments, I like old houses. That's great. I like old houses too, especially old Japanese houses. But don't say something too generalized, because if you just say, I like old Japanese houses, well, that's great, but that's not about my channel in particular. What is it about my channel that you're thankful for? Yes, Hirotori says, what you're thankful for per se. Yes, it's that time of year. I think that we should really be thinking about that. Like I said, the Thanksgiving is coming up. There is a Thanksgiving in Japan. It's a little different than, the American Thanksgiving, but it is on my mind. And like I said before, this whole giveaway is happening because my channel is now monetized through YouTube, or it's qualified for monetization. I'm still waiting for it to officially happen, but I am qualified for it, and the reason for that is because it's over 1,000 subscribers. Actually, it's now over 3,000, which I'm really thankful for. But that happens because of you subscribing. Plus, the watch hours are over 4,000, and that happens again once again because of you. So thank you. I'm appreciative for that. And that's why I can do the giveaway now, is because I qualify for monetization. So what is it about my channel and what I'm doing here that you're grateful for, or that you like? I would specifically like you to leave that comment. So don't just say, oh, I like everything Japan. Well, I'm happy that you like everything Japan, but that doesn't qualify for this giveaway. So just keep that in mind. So there we go. Those three main things, right? Like this video. Make sure you're a subscriber to my channel. Leave a comment about why you like my channel, or what I'm doing here, or what you appreciate or are grateful for about my channel. Okay. And the fourth thing is a little different. You have to actually do something else, and it's not complicated. It's very easy. You need to send me an email with a little information, and there are a couple of reasons why. Now, first of all, I looked up some software and some websites that run giveaways, that help creators run giveaways for their channel, and maybe at some point in the future I will use one of those because I think they're really cool. But since my channel is not very big and I don't have a tremendous amount of active community members, I don't think that that's necessary right now. So I'm just going to keep it rather simple with an email. But you need to give me some specific information. One second, let me get my water. My water appears to be ready, so I will. Whoops, wrong way. I've got this on the gimbal so I can move it around. I know it looks really messy in here, but I've got everything moved around because I'm trying to find ways to organize. So I've got important paperwork and some clothes that I'm trying to organize. I still don't have a dresser yet to put clothes in, but here's my green tea and my hot water. Ugh. Okay. I'll let you watch me make some tea. How about that? Here we go. All right, now in the email that you need to send to me, the first thing that you need to tell me in the email is your username on YouTube that you used to make the comment. So, for example, if you commented on this video, hey Brandon, what I like about your channel is, how ridiculously funny it is when you do X, Y, and Z, and I also appreciate the fact that you are very, very so-so in the way of handsomeness, and it makes me feel better about myself. And my username is XYZ bala bala bala. Okay. Then I'm able to connect your email entry with your username, and I can check to make sure that you're a subscriber to my channel. Okay. All right. So move that back around right there. Oh, hi Philippe. Welcome. Happy Tiger. Hello. So there you go. That's the first thing. When you email me, tell me your YouTube username that you used to make the comment, okay? And then I can use that to check to make sure that you left the comment and that you are subscribed to my channel. Yeah, hey Brandon, how are you doing? I didn't delay the live stream. I was already doing the live stream, but for some stupid reason it wasn't working. So I had to cancel the one that I was doing and restart, and that's this one. I don't know. It's some kind of strange disconnect between Prism and YouTube. I don't know why, but here we are. Anyway, I'm sorry for that. I've learned my lesson. I'll try not to do that next time. I'll try to do it differently. Okay, so in the email, first thing, your YouTube screen name that you use to comment on my video and subscribe to my channel. The second thing is, tell me the city that you're in, okay? I don't need to know a lot of detail, but the reason I'm doing this is to try to keep the contest honest and fair. I don't want to get multiple entries from the same person, and I'm asking all of you to be honest. Don't try to get a bunch of people in your household to send me multiple entries, because that's not fair to everyone else. It's not fair to yourself, really. It's not fair to others, and it's not fair to me. Be honest, and if you follow my channel, that's great. You follow my channel, you send an entry, okay? But don't say, like, maybe your girlfriend or your spouse or when your kids or something, they don't really pay attention to my channel, or they don't know my channel, and you try to get their information so you can send another entry. Don't do that. Be fair to everybody, okay? Give everyone else a chance. The chances are already good that you're going to win because there aren't going to be a lot of entrants. So your username, YouTube username, the city where you're located, and then after that, what else do I need to know? There was another thing. Oh yes, your first name. Just your first name. That's all. Just your first name. I don't need a lot of detail. I don't need your family name or anything like that. And whenever I choose a winner, I'm going to email you back to let you know that you're the winner. But I'm also going to announce it in a live video later on. So I need that information to compare it with your subscription and your comment on the video. And also need it to email you back and verify that you're the winner and contact you and that sort of thing. How long is the contest open before I choose a winner? Until November 30th at 11:59 p.m. So you need to do all of that information, the like, comment, subscription, and email me. You have to do all of that before 11:59 November 30th. Yes, JST, I'm sorry, Japan time. So here in Japan right now, it's a little after 10 o'clock p.m. I believe that it's a little after 8 a.m. in New York, on Eastern time in the U.S. So keep in mind that the time, 11:59 p.m. is Japan time, okay? So at midnight on December 1st, Japan time, the giveaway contest entries are closed. And then I will be using that week to select a winner and then announce it by live video within 1 week after that. So by December 7th, you should see a new video posted that has the winner announced. And the only thing that I will say, just for example, if for some reason the winner is Glenn, I would say congratulations to Glenn, Quietly Wandering. He's the winner, and please, I sent you an email, or I'm sending you an email, so please respond to me with your information so that I can get the winning package sent to you. So I'll do those two things. One is I'll have the video to announce the winner. The second thing is that I will email the winner and say, hey, you won. I need this information for shipping to send you your prize. Okay? Now, thank you, Fleet, for doing that. It's much easier when somebody's able to do that for me instead of me having to type it. I do have my computer open here, but I wasn't thinking about taking it. Oh yeah, congratulations, Glenn. Now if you win, everybody's going to think that it was a setup or something. They're like, oh no, Brandon knows Glenn, and they were just working together. No, trust me. No matter what happens, it's very unbiased. As long as you meet the contest requirements, you have just as good a chance of winning as anybody else, okay? So is the giveaway clear? Is it clear? So just, remember those four main things. Coffee Sniffer says all clear. Good. Yeah. So like this video. Make sure you're a subscriber to my channel. Make sure you comment with your subscribed account on this video to tell me what you like about my channel, or what you appreciate or are thankful for regarding my channel, or what I do on my channel, or me through this channel, and then send me the email with your first name, your city, and your YouTube username that you use to comment on this video. Once you do all those things before November 30th at 11:59, then you will be officially entered in my giveaway. Colin says, I'm about to move to Kyushu from Okinawa, and I'll be buying a couple of Akia houses. I like your channel because I'm learning about Kominkas, what to look for, and how much work is involved. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. Make sure that you post that comment in the comment section below the video. Okay? You just put it in the chat, which is good. But make sure you put it in the, just to be on the safe side, remember to put it in the comment section below the video. It might be a little tricky to do it while the live video is going, because I think you have to move over. There's commenting in the live chat and commenting below the video are two different things. Analog Andy. Oh, hey Andy, I'm moving to Kyushu as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Kyushu is not too far from here, and it's a nice area. I visited there once. I have another friend over there, actually, that I want to visit very soon. After the live, you'll be able to comment. Yeah, it's easier to comment after the live. Sometimes it's a little strange trying to comment during the live, but after, you'll be able to comment, so don't worry about that. Okay, now I think we got all that cleared up. Let's move to the part that is probably a little more interesting, which is, what I'm going to be giving away. And this is the actual box that you're going to be getting. It's about 10 inches tall. Oh no, I'm sorry. Maybe about 8 inches tall, 10 inches deep, and about a foot long. So it's a kind of a small to medium size box. And some of the prizes are already in here. A few of the things, and I'll show them to you. And a couple of them are out in my van, so I'm not going to go out in the cold weather to get them. I'll put them in later. Plus, some of them I haven't purchased yet, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and I'll show you some of the things that are already in here. I wanted to get some items that are actually from this area, specifically from my town here in East Hiroshima, particularly in Toyosaka. For those of you who know me or who've been here or watched some of my videos, you'll know that there's some places here that I frequent that I like very much, like Toyosaka Kurasu Cafe, Tom Milk Farm, the Rural Boulanger Bakery, and even the Center March. If you remember me taking part in the Center March local business market. Coffee says, very thoughtful, Brandon. Thank you very much. I love giving gifts, and that's the main reason I want to be wealthy, because I love being able to give gifts to people and help people, and it's annoying to me to see people in need or and not be able to help them, or maybe see people that I would really like to give gifts to, but I just can't afford it. But anyway, let's start with the stuff that isn't. It will go up from what I think is kind of the lower stuff to the higher stuff. The first thing is, I go to the local Japan Post office often to either pick up stuff or send things off or whatever. And recently, when I went to send off a couple of boxes, they gave me some gifts. One of those is this. These are cotton swabs. I always use these to clean my ears, but this is it looks like a Japan Post office box, a post box, but it's just the cotton swabs, like the Q-tips. And they gave this to me the other day as a gift, and it's unopened, but I thought it was cute, and I thought this would be something neat to put in the box to send, Japan Post cotton swabs. And they also gave me this towel. They've given me a towel before, and I don't know why they give these sometimes as gifts, but to me this is like the towel you use to put on your head when you're in the onsen. So you can use it as a hand towel. It's in a sealed bag, so I'll include this. I've got towels here, so I don't need it. I thought it would be kind of a cute thing to include. So you get these two things from local Japan Post office. You remember the Center March that I participated in? Well, here's a brochure about the Center March. It's a fold-out brochure with a map. If you open it up, it shows you all of the information about all of the main local businesses that are participating in the Center March, and the three main cities, which are Toyosaka, Fukutomi, and Kochi. I thought this would be something very cool to give. It is in Japanese. They don't have an English version, so if you want to read it and look at it, you'll have to use your translator tool. But for those of you who don't know, you can actually use your Google Translate or another translation app, take a picture or look at it. It will translate it and you can read it. But I thought it was a neat thing to include. And it's even got their mascot. It's like a king riding a bicycle. They always have this guy as their advertisement, but I just picked this up and put it in here. Okay. One of the other places that I love to stop at is Rural Boulanger, which is the local bakery. It's my favorite bakery in East Hiroshima, but it's the only bakery in this area. Thankfully, it's very good. It's a very small place. It's owned by family. If you've seen the video that I did recently where I advertised, I interviewed them, then you'll know which one I'm talking about. Now, some of you who visited here before, you've actually been to that bakery, and you know what I'm talking about. They have some really good stuff. Most of their stuff is not something that I can mail to you because it doesn't have a long shelf life. You know, if I go buy bread or cake or something, I'm not going to be able to ship it to you and it be good. You know, it will expire very quickly. So I found something that does have a longer shelf life, but I was insistent that I find something that they actually made. They have some chocolate there, but they don't make the chocolate. You know, they have some other things there that are not made at the bakery, but I didn't want that. I wanted something that they made at the bakery. So we were able to do this. And this is a sealed package of crispy garlic bread. And this particular garlic bread has an expiration date at the end of the year. So December 27th. So this garlic bread will still be good at least 5 weeks later, you know, for at least 5 more weeks. That's plenty of time for me to get this to you while it's still good. And so there you go. This is the only item that has that type of shelf life, and it's completely sealed. So you can enjoy some crispy garlic bread here in the next few weeks, whoever wins. And inside the bakery bag is another item. They were selling this at the bakery, but it's related to the Center March, and you can see the name Center March written. Oops, let me turn it over. Oh, it's like a little button with an apple on it that says Center March, and it has something else written on it, but even with my glasses, it's a little hard to see. But I thought it was cute because it's got the apple on it, and it's got some logos from the Center March, and even says Center March on it. So this is another local business fair item, and I'll put that in the bag, the bakery bag that they kindly gave to me. And the garlic bread will be in here. Okay, let me close that back. There we go. Okay, Glenn says, all good here in Oz. Quiet day, but getting lots done for my cleanup. Also was a rare wet day here in my little town. Yeah, and Coffee says, I remember the bakery. Good. Yes, good. And I told, by the way, every gift that I got, I told them that I need this for a giveaway I'm doing on my YouTube channel. They were all very excited, And she was very worried to the bakery because she wanted to make sure that I gave you something that was going to be good when you got it. She was worried about it being good quality and tasty when it got there. So this was the best option, the crispy garlic bread. Do you remember Tom Milk Farm? Tom Milk Farm is the local dairy in Toyosaka that also hosts the Center March twice a year in the spring and in the fall. Yeah, I went there just a few days ago, and I picked up this little towel. It's got the it's got the cow print on it, and you can see right here it's got the name of the milk farm, Tom Milk Farm, and the cute little logo on it. And this is also sealed in plastic, so it's brand new. Just a specific little item from the milk farm, and that goes in the box as well. You also get that. And that's all I actually have in the box right now, but there are a couple of other things that I have either in the other room or out in the car, or that I need to go pick up. And here's what they are. Coffee says you had 10 minutes. Is it 10 minutes of snow, or did you mean like depth? 10 inches? Or did it just snow for 10 minutes? I got snow here the other day for the first time, and as soon as the sun started to come up, it was melting it super fast because it wasn't really cold enough to freeze. But it was still a pretty chilly day, and it was nice seeing the snow that day. From Toyosaka Kurasu Cafe, which is my favorite local cafe, they were able to give me a large bag, okay? They have these fabric bags. They have like a small, medium, and large fabric bag that you can use for shopping. For example, if you go to the supermarket and you don't want to use the plastic bag or pay for that, you can bring your own bag, right? This is kind of like that bag. And I got the large one. And it actually has the name of Toyosaka Kurasu Cafe on the bag. So I'm going to put that bag also in this package, so you'll get something from Kurasu Cafe here in Toyosaka. The other things that you're going to get, there are two other main things you're going to get. One is some treats. There aren't a lot of treats that I can send you that are specifically from Toyosaka, and the reason for that is most everything that's made here locally as far as treats, they don't have a very long shelf life. You know, you'll have to kind of buy them and use them quickly. For example, the local egg farm. I could get you some eggs, but I don't think I want to ship eggs. I probably couldn't even ship eggs. But I am going to put in here some Japan treats. So some Japanese treats that I really like. Some snacks and some specific Japanese treats that I like. I will put those in the box also, so they will be in here. Some of them I haven't bought yet because there's no rush, and I'll just wait until right before I ship it. I'll grab those and put those in the box. I'm also going to put a little Japanese anime figure. I don't know if you like anime or not, but if you do or not, it's okay. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it's kind of just a little special Japanese item. You know, it's I like some anime. I'm not a big otaku or anything. I'm not a freak about. I do have some figures. You'll see. Like here's one in a box right here. I haven't even taken this out of the box, but this is a figure from My Hero Academia. I don't know if some of you have seen that show or watched that show, but this is the figure called, or the character called All Might, when he's not in his superhero form. I like him, so I have this sitting right here on my desk. I'm going to take a small figure and put that in the box as well. You have a lot of Miku figures. Hey Tori, I have about 36 Hatsune Miku figures, and most all of them are in boxes right now because if I take them out, they're all gonna be covered in dust and dirt. Miku rides shotgun in the car. Yes, that's right, Glenn. I have Hatsune Miku on my dashboard in my van, so I'm a big Hatsune Miku fan. But I'll take a small anime figure and put that in the box as well. And the last thing that I'm going to put in this box is going to be a couple of things specifically from here at my house. I've found many things here at the house, and some of those things that I found are coins. And I'm going to include a couple of special coins that are out of print, that they do not have in circulation anymore. I will wrap those up and put those in a little bag and put those in the box as well. And these are just coins that I found as I've been going through the house and cleaning. I found many since I've been here. I found probably several $100s worth of coins. Some of them are about 100 years old. And the coins that I'm going to include in here are about 70 years old. So I'm going to put a couple of those coins in here, and they're special. And the main reason that they're special is because it's not just because they're old and they don't make them anymore. It's because the design is different. You know, the 50 yen coins and the 5 yen coins, if you're familiar with those here in Japan, they have a hole in the center. But I have some 50 yen coins that do not have a hole in the center, and they were printed in the 50s, the 1950s. And I'm going to send a couple of those to you. Very special, I think. But I'm also going to include something else from the house. I haven't decided what, but rest assured that, you know, the box will be full, and it will have those different things in here, that variety of things. So you're going to have some things from here in Toyosaka, and you're going to have some things from Japan. You're going to have some things that are special from my house. You're going to have some more modern cultural things like the anime figure. But overall, these are going to be things that I like. So they're all connected together. It's all Japanese stuff, and it's just going to be a combination of local Japanese stuff and Japan-wide stuff, plus things from my house, but all things that are special to me in some way. And in a very real sense, you're getting a box full of things that are special to me. Either special because they're items that I like, or they're specifically from me, from my house, and consider that a special thank you gift for a cinder brown roof tile. It would be a very interesting way to get rid of those tiles, wouldn't it? I could hold many contests. If I can give away one tile for every contest, maybe I could have 100,000 different contests and giveaways. Tile on request. Hey, you know, if you want one of my roof tiles, I'll gladly put it in the box. It's a little heavy, so it will make the shipping a little more expensive, but it's okay. If you want a tile, I'm willing to put it in there. But I will think about it, because there are a variety of things here that I could put in, but I've realized that that's been the most difficult thing to think about and figure out. What do I want to actually put in there? Let's see. Got a few messages here. I think I can top that. I have 2 shelves of Miku. Hey, Hattori, how many Miku figures do you have? Do you have more than 35? Let's see. Yeah, Glenn, you couldn't resist. It's okay, I understand. It's very funny, though, because I probably still have another cache of roof tiles out there that I haven't even seen yet. They're everywhere. Colin says, look for 1 yen coin in your house that has a swallow bird on it. They are worth a lot. Well, it's possible that I have one. I'll look through my coins and see. I still have a lot of coins over there, actually, from all over the place, from many different countries. I even have money and coins that were made during Japanese occupation of other places, other countries. Money that they printed out for local use only. I have those too. I'm sure that those must be worth something. But I haven't had them price checked because I don't know where to go to do that yet. So I have them, but I don't know what they're worth. Beat Stick Benny fan, number 1. Okay. An eco jar from Japan would be sweet. An eco jar. I'm not really sure what that is, but I will look it up. If it's something I can easily get and it will fit in this box, maybe so. But we'll see. Most definitely, I have them all logged, my figure collection. Really? You have them logged? That's interesting. In my house, I just have a bunch of logs out in the shed. Whoa! Okay, my tea bag almost fell apart. So, but my hands are a little chilly. It's maybe it's about 12 degrees in here now. It's a little warmer, but not much. Okay, everybody. That's pretty much it. As far as the giveaway goes, that's all the information. That's all the information about how to enter the giveaway. And if you're just now joining or whatever and you're not sure, you need to go back after the video's finished and look at those. But I will post the rules below the video. I actually already did that earlier, but I'm willing to bet that they're not there. Yeah, they're not there. I look in the description of the video and they're not there. So I'm going to have to go back and retype it in and post it under the video. So if you want to save yourself some time, you can just read it and then follow those. But as far as what I'm giving away, some of it's in here. The rest of it I'll add later. If you have any community post works, yeah, I can also do that. No problem. Yeah, it'd be very easy. I can just type it in the description here, copy it, and then paste it in the community tab. So, yeah, I'll do that. Thanks, guys. So I'll definitely do that. Now, what I'd like to do now, something I haven't done yet, is take my gimbal with the phone on it. Now that I have a connection, a live connection, I just want to walk around the house right quick. It's kind of chilly outside, but I might walk out there. I want to see how this phone does when I walk around with not only the signal, but also the way it appears, the way it looks. Philippe's question: what news on the backhoe and septic tank? Okay, good news on the backhoe. The other day, for those of you who are watching my live video that I did the other day when I went into the cafe, I talked with a guy there who said that he could do the backhoe rental for me for like 10 hours and less than, $70. Like, I don't know, $50 to $60 or something like that. And that's great. I haven't scheduled that yet because I haven't found a particular good day that I can do that. I need to plan exactly where I'm going to dig. And, it's maybe because I put my phone. This is my signal. I put this in my pocket, but I guess I'll keep it out just to help with the signal. Anyway, I haven't decided yet for sure where to dig, and I haven't planned out a day that I can do that. And it lagged for a second. It's fine. Okay, no problem. But the good news is that I've located a guy with a backhoe who can deliver it and pick it up, and the price is very affordable. So I just have to decide when and where I'm going to dig. And once all of that's taken care of, I can give him a message online. I have his line, so I can message him directly and schedule it with him. So as soon as I'm able to do it, boom, I can do it. So that's good. And once I get that dug, I have to see about putting the concrete in. But because it's so cold right now, I'm not sure when I'm gonna be able to do that. The concrete needs to set and dry, and it needs a certain amount of time to do that. And I'm already starting to get snow here. And last year, the first snowstorm came about 10 days before Christmas. So that's coming up real soon, just a few weeks away. And I saw some snow the other day. The temperatures are really dropping, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually dig that and fill in the concrete before that weather starts to roll in. I'll just have to talk with a couple of people and see, a couple of experts, and see what they have to say about that. Let me put my phone in my pocket here, so I think I can get the best signal without having it. Yeah, where you put it is very important, that's right. And I have another friend too. I don't know if he'd be watching this video. He might. His name's Michael. I've been chatting with him a little bit about the septic tank. He might be able to give me some advice or suggestions about it as well. We've talked about it before, and he's been over here, but I want to be sure before I start digging, absolutely for sure, where I'm going to put it, because I definitely don't want to waste time. So let's turn the camera around here, and we're going to take a little stroll around the house. This is currently my bed. It doesn't look like it because I pulled all the sheets and everything off in order to wash those and get things cleaned up. And I'll show you how I keep warm right quick. I've got this little space heater. It's not very strong, but right now it's okay because outside it's not getting any cooler than about 0 degrees. So with the combination of this dropping the temperature in the room down raising it up just a little bit, plus what I've got going over here is the main thing that keeps me warm. This is, if you can see it here, this is an electric carpet, and it has a few different settings. You can set it to be one half, the other half, or the whole thing. And when you set that, and then you turn it on, right now it's not plugged in. I don't keep it plugged in unless I'm using it and home. Otherwise, I think it's a safety hazard. But you can turn it. It's got a button here from weak to strong. How hot do you want it? And when I first turn it on, I put it on high to get it warmed up fast. And then when I get in bed, I turn it down to either low or very, very low, one of those, because this heat radiates mostly up. I have this thermal paper here, this thermal foil, and I have some, there's the bed frame, and then I have this here pointing up, and that keeps the heat from radiating down. It just radiates up, and it warms up the entire mattress, the entire bed. And this is very effective at keeping my bed warm. So it doesn't matter really how cold the house gets. As long as I have a couple of nice blankets to cover up with, then I can make kind of a warm sandwich of myself and stay warm in the bed. The issue is mainly getting out of bed. This right here, this blanket here, this one, it's not pretty, but it is an electric blanket. If it gets really cold around here, like minus 15 degrees, then there's really no way I can keep this bedroom warm. It's going to be really, really cold in here. It'll be below 0 inside my room. And I think it's a waste to be burning a lot of kerosene and electricity just to try to keep the whole room warm, when all I really need to do at night is to keep my bed warm. So with this electric carpet underneath the bed and an electric blanket on top of the bed, there's just no way for me to not be warm. So this is very, very effective. This was my idea. This one of my small creative ideas I had one day when I was in the hardware store. I was like, hey, that's a really large electric carpet. It's 2 meters long, so it's longer than I am tall, and it's actually wider than a full-size bed. And so it's more than enough to keep the whole mattress warm. And with this reflective foil underneath it, it keeps the heat mostly radiating up. And since heat rises, it's very effective. So I'm telling you, if you put it on high and you get in bed, you're going to wake up sweating big time. So this one right here, just got back from preparing a cup of coffee. Enjoy. I can get my green tea before it gets too cold. It's still warm. Hey, who's that handsome guy on the That's kind of a dopey looking face. I paused it at a really crummy looking part, but anyway. Everything looks a little disorganized in here right now, but okay. This is the screen that I have on the wall for my mini projector that I've got sitting on the tripod. When I'm not, you would not believe how many hours I've spent not feeling well, just lying in bed with my head against the shoji doors there, watching videos like Futurama or something on this screen, the room completely dark, just for days on end, because I just didn't feel well, just not feeling well at all. And the only thing I have to do, that's why, one of the reasons why I really need the internet connection here, is because there's nothing else for me to do. There's no one here but me, and when I'm not feeling good and I can't move around or do anything, then I really need the video. I need the internet. Who was the guy who held a katana in the thumbnail? That's me. And the katana, by the way, was one that I found in this house. If you don't know that, you can go back and watch one of my earlier videos. I found a katana, World War II officer's katana, in my house. I wasn't able to keep the blade because it's an illegal item, but I was able to keep the handle and the sheath, the cross guard, and all of that. This is the Genkan, and as you can see, it's also a little messy. Basically, this room, my bedroom, and then the Irori room, which is right in there, they have most of all of the stuff that I have in those rooms, because the back rooms have been cleaned out, and the middle room in the front is mostly cleaned out now, and a lot of that stuff that I didn't throw away yet has either been moved in here or somewhere else, and so these rooms are kind of packed with stuff, but the other rooms are mostly empty. I still have a lot of cleaning and straightening to do, but unfortunately these rooms have become kind of messy because I don't really have anywhere to store things or put them right now, so it's just kind of disorganized. And I wasn't here for almost 2 months also, but before I went into the hospital, I was in such poor health for about 10 days or so that, man, it really suffered around here. It was really miserable time for me. But anyway, I just want to kind of go in here. This is the Irori room, and I believe I have a remote for the light, so I can turn the light on. There we go. Okay, you can see a lot of boxes in here because from like right here, this bag has a lot of gachapons. These are capsule toys. Some of these boxes in here, they have a lot of anime figures and stuff. You can see some of them on this stupid phone. It randomly just completely disconnects from my network. I don't know why, but ever since I switched to my Rakuten SIM card, this phone doesn't like it. So just randomly, it completely disconnects from my cellular network. And when that happens, of course, I lose my connection on my phone that I'm recording this with. So I'm really looking forward to getting this phone unlocked so that I can take the SIM out of this and put it in there. But yeah, this phone, it sucks because it's better than my last cheap phone that I got from Docomo, but it still sucks. It's an absolutely terrible phone. And I don't know why it keeps disconnecting from my network, but hopefully I'll have my OnePlus, this one, unlocked within this week, and then I can switch the SIM card. So, yeah. Yes, we are back. Welcome back, everybody. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about, Glenn, you mentioned the cups, the crockery and everything. I am thinking about putting something like a cup or a couple of sake cups in the giveaway box, because I think that'd be pretty cool, and I've got a lot of them. But I'll choose something. I'll think about it. But anyway, what I was saying a second ago is that I've got a lot of these futons and old clothes and stuff left in these cabinets, and I just leave them open to let them air out, because like the moldy mildew smell is very strong, and by leaving them open, I can let them air out. Yeah, I'm not sure about the freezing connection now, because if you look on here, I've got a connection, so it should be good. Maybe it's just because I'm in the house, but that's all. In the room down there, there's nothing in there now. It's completely cleared out except for the furniture that's left in there. All the way down to the floor, it's like this room here, the Irori room. It's just down to the wood. This middle room still isn't quite completely cleaned out, so it still has the old tatami. If you didn't burn them all, I'd take a suit tie if I won. You know, I've got a few ties, so it might be funny just to toss one in there anyway, just for fun. If I remember, I'll do that, because I definitely have a few ties left. I mean, look, I even have some things like this. Like, I've got a couple pair of the sandals, the old sandals. If a lady wins, maybe it would be cool to toss in something like this, just because I don't believe I'm going to use them. It's just neat, you know. There's a lot of neat stuff. Everything right here on top of this chest, all this stuff here hasn't been tossed, because I'm not really sure what to do with it, you know. It's just some stuff that I think is interesting, unique, or valuable, or whatever, and I'm not really sure what to do with it. Can you show the exterior? I wonder how dark outside is. Well, I was thinking about doing that, but I was trying to avoid it because it's so cold. But we can try. Let's go out there. I don't mind going out to give it a try. Let me put my phone in my pocket again. All right. I'm going to close this because I'm trying to keep that cold air out of the inside of the house. I did have a fire going back here earlier, but it has since burned out. Yeah, too interesting to just throw away. It's difficult. Some things are special. Some things are clearly valuable. Actually, you can still see the smoke from the fire. You can't see any flames anymore, but it's still giving off some heat. We'll try to take a walk around the front and see. This is my porch light that I keep on most of the time. It's right here on the corner of the house, so it's very easy for me when I arrive. I can have some light to come around the back. Even if these inside lights are off, this gives me enough light to what I can see to get in the back door. And this is the side of the house. Right through the gate is where my van is. You can see the light reflecting there. You get many bugs like moths. Yeah, there are bugs. There are some steps that you can take to lessen that, but because of the state of my house right now, it is a challenge. It's a constant challenge, but I am thankful that during this last summer, I was able to do a decent job of controlling them overall in my main bedroom, and I'm very happy about that. I was worried about how it would be, but I did take some steps to either kill or repel them if they tried to get in the bedroom or come in there. So I feel very happy about my ability to do that. But yeah, there are some moths here, and they are a little annoying, but thankfully there aren't too many. You can see that's where we were at just before. Yeah, fire. Yeah, it's so unusual for me. This is looking through the glass in the kitchen into the Irori room where we were just at, where the anime figures are. And the front gate. It's a little dark out here, but I'll see if I can turn on my gate light. It'll give us a little light out here. There we go. This is the door to the kitchen. My post office box. My postal box right there. I've already gotten the mail for the day, so there's nothing in there. Anyway, this is the front of the Kura, and I park right here by the front right now. Yes, the centipede. I haven't seen one here, and I'm very happy about that, because I don't want to see those, especially in my bedroom. Okay, now let's show you the front. This is the front of my house. Okay, there's the irori room right there. There's the kitchen. This is the front gate, and with the concrete ramp going up to the front, and you can see I parked my van right over here. Now, just to give you an idea of how dark it is out here, let me turn the camera around. There's the sky. Can't really see anything. A couple of lights at a house way over there. Ha! Susan! Well, hello. Good to see you. I'm just showing everybody right now how dark it is out here. That's actually a street light right over there on the main road. Street lamp. Those two lights belong to a house way over across the way. I think the moon is out somewhere, but I can't see where. It's through the trees over there. Yeah, the moon is right there. It's already gotten behind the trees, so can't really see it. Glenn says, I can see the making in the near future of a very detailed temperature tour of the house. Hint, hint. Yes. I've been really wanting to do that, but I've been waiting for it to get consistently cold, and now it's there, so it's time to do it. And also needed to clean the room out, too, in order to do that better. So, how goes it, buddy? It's going all right. Getting around without the stupid cane. I mean, I was glad to have it, but I don't want to have to use a cane. But it's nice being able to get around without it. And I'm very happy to have my new Rakuten connection, so I can do a live video here at the house without having to worry about a crappy connection or dependency on an antenna. So that's really cool. But how's it going with you? You still drawing? I'm sure you're drawing every day. I was scribbling the other day, but nothing significant. I was just thinking about something. Let's see here. Brandon says, I certainly missed some backstory about this house. Did you purchase this house? Yes, Brandon, I do own this house 100%. And I got it almost exactly 2 years ago and closed it on Christmas morning, actually. So this Christmas will be exactly 2 years. Man, my hand is already freezing cold. I'm sure it's got to be like maybe 3 degrees out here, 3 Celsius. It's not frozen. It's not freezing out here, but it's very cold. If I be quiet, you can hear how quiet it is. Just listen. I remember when I first moved out here, this was very difficult for me to live in a place like this and be out here by myself, and for it to be so quiet, so calm, so dark, and now so cold too. It was difficult, but obviously I still like to be able to be with people and be around people sometimes. I don't want to be alone all the time, but it doesn't bother me like it used to. It's just different. The cats say hi. Tell them I say, nya, nya. It's like Japanese for meow. 2 years, so have you spent 2 winters here? Well, my first winter here was when I was coming here on the weekends. So I was coming here on the weekends to do stuff, to clean and go through some of the stuff here, throw some things away and that sort of thing. But I moved out here last winter, so I've spent 1 full winter here. I've almost spent 1 full year here. At the end of December, it will be 1 full year that I've lived here. Coffee sniffer, here is 2 degrees planned. And evening live stream. I hope I won't freeze. Let me give you a hint. Wear some gloves. I've got my left hand in my pocket right now, and I've got my right hand on the gimbal, but my right hand is pretty cold already. Coffee sniffer, I can't wait to see the final look of this great Akio. It's going to be a long time coming, man, but maybe it will never be completely finished, but I would like for it to be at a point where it's, 100% safe and very livable and comfortable. I want it to be warm in the winter and nice and cool in the summer. I want it to kind of maintain and keep a lot of its original, authentic, traditional look, but at the same time I want it to have a lot of modern amenities and comfort. I want people to be able to come here and relax and be comfortable and not have to worry about, excessive bugs and freezing their asses off and stuff like that. The silence is overwhelming. It can be. If you're used to living in the city, it's no joke. You can't just come out to the country, especially by yourself, and just be able to accept it immediately. It takes some time to acclimate. It really does. But for me, I realized that I don't like being in the city all the time, but I don't like being out in the countryside all the time either. Yeah, just like I don't like being alone all the time, but I also don't like being with people all the time. So I need a balance of both. Susan said, I can't wait to see the snow. Always pretty. Had no significant snow here for years. Well, I remember being in Louisiana. It was always like, most of the year, it's just really, really hot and unbearably humid. And we were lucky to get a freeze, So every once in a while, though, we would get some kind of crazy weather, some kind of freeze or snow or something, and it was always amazing. Of course, it was very welcome, but it was a rare thing. And here, in this particular area, it's about 420 or so meters above sea level where my house is located, in these little small mountains. And it gets down to about minus 15 C at the coldest. And just an hour drive away, there's a big difference in temperature and weather, because you can have a snowstorm here and it's really cold and freezing, and then just drive 1 hour south down towards the coast, and there might be a little snow, but it's no big deal, and there's probably a 10-degree difference in Celsius, and that's significant. Whew, my right hand is so cold. In Marshall, Texas for a while, still no snow since Snowmageddon a few years ago. Yeah, I heard about that. That was nuts. But it makes sense why it was such a problem or big disaster, because, there's nothing there that's really prepared or ready for that. There's my Super Famicom, Super Nintendo right there. Got a few games sitting on top of this TV. This tube television is still working. It was in the house when I got here, and I've been able to play some old Super Nintendo games on it. Oh, my bathroom in progress is right in there. Haven't been able to do much because of my leg, my health condition, but I'm gonna put this on dim. Man, this camera's actually not too bad. It sees in the darkness better than I do. It definitely sees a lot better in here than I do. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna go back in here, guys, where the room is a little warmer. Whew. My hand is just too cold. And there's no light on the other side of the house, so if I walked around here, you wouldn't be able to see anything. Let's see, you need some woolly fingerless gloves. Yeah, those are like what a friend of mine calls the hobo gloves, where the fingers are cut out, right? Let's turn that around. Man. Whew. Yeah, let me see what the temperature in here is right now. Oh yeah, it's actually a little cooler in here than it was before. Earlier it was like 11.2, now it's 9.9 Celsius in here because it's colder outside. So it's difficult for this little heater to heat up this room. So I would say right now it's only about 7 degrees, maybe 7 degrees warmer in here than it is outside. Whew. My poor little hand is freezing. I only went outside because you guys asked. I was planning on not doing that because it's chilly out there. Oop, wrong way. There we go. Yeah. Whew. My hand is cold. Let's see here. There's a comment that I missed here. What's the comment? Oh, it's disconnected on here. Let me look on here. No infrastructure for real snow. Yeah, in Texas, absolutely not. Yeah. And people don't know what they're doing in the snow in that area either, I'm sure. Just like Louisiana. You get a little bit of ice or snow and then everybody goes crazy and starts crashing and running all over the place. You like the camera too, Coffee? Thank you. It's really cool, I think. I just need to get that SIM card in here, so I need to get it unlocked as soon as possible. The stream has been steady with clear images and good sound. That's great, Glenn. I'm glad to hear. I was really hoping that, because with the camera, the gimbal, and the connection from Rakuten, I was hoping that it'd all be good. Of course, once I get the phone unlocked and I can take my SIM card out of here and put it in there, I think it'll be even better. No heated floors. And I was now saying that my connection is unstable again. I don't know why. Let's take a look and see. Okay, my connection is still good here. I'll just put my phone up here and maybe the connection will stay good. Yeah, Susan, this house, some rooms are just wood and they literally have nothing underneath it. No insulation or anything. And then some other rooms, like this room, have tatami on top of the wood. So it's just wood and then thick tatami. And I've also put one layer of carpet in this room. This is the bedroom where I sleep, and I've completely closed off the room with shoji sliding doors. It offers a little insulation, but not much. And in the room next to this one and in the middle room in the front, it's just wood and tatami. So some of the rooms are just the wood because I've removed the tatami. Some of them still have the tatami, and then this room has the carpet on top of the tatami on top of the wood. But there's no insulation and no heated floors. But I do use the heated carpet underneath my mattress on my bed to keep me warm, but that only works if you're lying down in the bed. My voice is going out because I don't get to talk this much this often. Spend too much time alone, I guess. I should go to karaoke more and do some more singing. Thanks for braving the cold for us. No problem. I really wanted to go outside, actually, but I was going to avoid it because it was so much colder out there. But it's okay. My bed will warm up, and actually, I think I might go ahead and fire it up just so it will be warm by the time I get in bed. Yeah, bless your heart. Thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely need that. No way. You said I live in Louisiana. Really? Do you know I'm from Louisiana? Have I told you that before? I was born in Shreveport, which is northwest Louisiana, And I lived in Houston for a while, but then we moved back to Louisiana, and I lived there most of my life. Later on, unfortunately, I got married very young to a crazy woman who was a sociopath and a pathological liar. That's another story. But she and I moved to North Carolina just for a short time, for like 2 years, in Winston-Salem. And then we had a child, but we both went separate ways on it. You know, I was thinking, oh great, you know, I get to have a child, and I was hoping to have a daughter, but she didn't want to be pregnant, so that made me feel like trash. And of course, later on, when my daughter was about 7 years old, she decided to just take off with her, and that just totally broke me down. So that was the beginning of the end for me. I got tired of being in the U.S. and in Louisiana, and it just wasn't for me anymore. I wanted to leave. And so I went back to the university, got my degree, and moved abroad. I worked in China for several years. I was there a total of almost 7 years, and then I moved here. While I was in China, I traveled to Japan almost 15 times, and I traveled all around to different cities and stuff. And right before the pandemic, I finally decided to move here. So I moved to Tokyo, and because of the pandemic, there was no work. And I went to Hiroshima, and I've been here in Hiroshima ever since. So I've been here for about 3 years in Hiroshima. And I bought this house almost 2 years ago. That's the short story of all of that. But you said, let's see. Brandon says the guys at Rakuten did their job very well every week. Yeah. I had a friend come out here not too long ago, and his signal was awesome. He was able to get download speeds of like 50 megabytes per second, 50 megabits per second, and upload speeds of like 25 or something. And that blew me away, because I couldn't even really get 5 megabits per second on Docomo. And I have like right over here a signal booster and an antenna outside. And even with all of that, I couldn't get a consistent connection. And then again, my only connection was literally right here in this room in front of the booster. I couldn't get a connection anywhere outside or inside or outside the house. It was ridiculous. So I decided to change to Rakuten, because they actually have coverage in this area, and it works apparently. You said, oh, I live in a French settlement about 30 minutes from Baton Rouge. Very, very cool. I love to go down there specifically for LSU games. I watched the LSU game just the other day. They played Georgia State, and that was at first it was a competitive game, but then LSU just started, destroying them. I think the final score is like 52-14. So it was, but I was able to stay here and watch it because I had the signal strength, so I was able to watch the game, and that was awesome. You said, damn, sorry to hear that. No big deal. Nothing to worry about. We're at south of Baton Rouge. Yes. Isn't South Louisiana all a French settlement? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Or a Creole settlement. Brandon and I lived a mile from each other when we were kids. Yeah, we lived together in Mansfield for a little while. Very small town. I remember when everybody got excited because there was a new McDonald's there. Susan, do you remember that? When the McDonald's opened? My family tried to go there like right after they opened for breakfast, and they were already sold out of all the breakfast items. We had to eat hamburgers for breakfast. I actually think that I had a McDLT. Do you remember that? Does anybody remember the McDLT from McDonald's? Where the hamburger comes in 2 different parts of the tray. All of the hot things like the meat and cheese come in one side, and then all the lettuce, tomato, and onion, the vegetables come on the other side. That's actually what I had for breakfast in the first McDonald's in my hometown, or where I lived at the time. Upload speed is your priority for a live stream. Yes, very important. And also uploading videos, it's very important that I get those uploaded quickly, and it's been impossible to do here. When I upload, I normally have to go to Toyosaka to use the Wi-Fi at the cafe. And I don't know if I've told any of you this before, maybe you've heard me say it, but when I upload videos that I've shot, I would typically go down to the cafe. Most of the time they're closed, because like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday they're closed. Evenings they're closed. So when I go to upload a video, I park my van outside of their cafe to use their Wi-Fi to upload my videos to post to YouTube, because I can't upload even a short video here at the house very easily on Docomo. And to upload like a 10-minute or 15 or 20-minute video, impossible. I have to go to use Wi-Fi somewhere else. Let's see here. I hope to go to Asia soon. Hayatori says, I've never left North America. Some of my family's in El Salvador, but Central America is the farthest I've been from USA. Well, I highly recommend traveling outside of the country to everybody, if you're able to do it. If you're able to do it at all, please do it, because even if it's difficult financially, I'm telling you, it will change your mind and your life and your perspective in ways that you can't really easily describe. I still remember the first time I was able to travel abroad, and it completely changed me, and I guarantee you that I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if not for that experience. Trust me, everybody should travel, especially to other countries. So did you just make this channel after getting this house? Kind of, yeah. Kind of, because actually, if you go back and you look at the first couple of videos I made about this house, it was on my first YouTube channel. I have another YouTube channel, and if you guys are interested in that, then I might be able to give you the link. Let me see if I can type the link here. Let's see. I'm sorry. Give me one moment. I'll pull it up and give you the link. Okay. It's called Winterborn. But if any of you guys are interested in some live stream videos about different places in Japan and stuff, videos about Japan, then I can give you the link to this other channel. This was originally my main channel on YouTube. But even though I've had this channel for years, for a long time I didn't have like a main focus or topic for the channel, and so it never really went anywhere. But now I've decided to just focus on Japanese stuff, like doing live stream videos in different places. So if you're interested in that, then you can follow me over there on that channel. And let's see here. That should come up in the chat. There it is. Okay, yeah, the link is my name, Brandon A. English, but that channel is me just going and doing live streams and stuff. Now that I got the gimbal and the camera, I can go to different places all over Hiroshima, because I see a lot of streamers doing Tokyo stuff, and yeah, I've lived in Tokyo and it's nice, and their videos are nice, but how many people are doing the live streams in Hiroshima? I haven't seen any. I'm sure there's somebody, but most people, they go there like once or twice, but they're not constantly doing regular live streams in Hiroshima. Let's see, what comments did I miss here? Oh, I missed several. Something other than Sonic. Yeah, the Sonic drive-thru, back when it was cool to have a car and drive around through Sonic. Yeah, that's what my brother used to do when he got a truck. He would drive and hang out at Sonic or drive around there. I had a couple of friends that whenever they started driving, that's where they would drive around. It would annoy me because I thought it was stupid, but they thought it was cool to drive through there and try to scope out the girls that were there and try to be seen. It was ridiculous. I had a friend just get back from Japan. He went over there to see one OK rock concert. Is one are you saying that the concert was just an OK concert, or is that the name of the band, One OK? That's an interesting name. If so, I don't know it. Asia is a great way to travel around. I've only explored Asia. Europe will be next. Europe was my first experience traveling abroad when I was about 17 years old, and it only happened because a friend of mine's grandmother paid for it. My family was broke, but even if they'd had the money, they wouldn't have given it to me. They don't give me anything. Hirotori says, right now I have literally no money, no income, but should be getting something soon. And if it is the case, I will surely travel. Well, if you ever come around this way, you're very welcome to come by and visit. And anyone who comes out here, if you can stay here, you can stay for free. I'm more than happy to have visitors. Don't expect a lot right now because the place is very crude, but you know, people that come to visit me, you're welcome to stay. This is crazy. I'm sitting here making coffee, getting ready to work, and chatting with you. Insane. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting thing. I remember several years ago when I first moved abroad, and some of my friends were chatting with me and stuff, and they were like, that's crazy that we can be on the other side of the earth and chatting with each other at the same time, just live, you know. And now we're doing videos and stuff live. It's pretty cool. El Salvador just caught my attention due to its recent Miss Universe contest venue. You didn't Miss Universe get bankrupt now? Is that the one? Yeah, Miss Universe, because they decided to include a bunch of transgenders and they went bankrupt. Well, you know, maybe people don't want Miss Universe to have transgenders. I don't have a problem with them, but I think they should just have their own separate thing. But we won't get into that. Maybe somebody would be upset about that. But if I watch a Miss Universe contest, I just want to see women. I just want to see like biological women. That's my preference. Preheats. I'll visit and help wherever I could, Brandon. And well, any help is welcome, and there's always something to do here. But you know, just having somebody here to visit and chat is good. Having somebody to come here and help is even better. Everyone cruised through Sonic. Yes, that's right. And maybe many, many times too, because you go through once and nothing's going on. You go back through later on, so nothing's still going on. Just keep doing it. It was so ridiculous. I didn't have a car for a really long time, so a couple friends of mine, I'd have to be riding through there with them or with my brother. And actually, it was very rare that I went through there with my brother because I was not cool. I was only 1 year younger than him, but it's still not cool to have your younger brother. So if I was with him, it's just because I had to be for some stupid reason. My parents would make him take me or something, or because we had to get something, but usually it was with a friend. One OK Rock is a huge rock band in Japan. How am I the one telling you this? Oh, well, this is very easy because, number one, I don't pay attention to any kind of media stuff, really. That's true of anywhere. In the U.S., I didn't watch TV, and here in Japan, I don't watch TV. And as far as music is concerned, the only thing Japanese that I really listen to, besides a little Hatsune Miku, is Ayumi Hamasaki. I have some Ayumi Hamasaki stuff, and I've seen her concert in Tokyo before. She did a countdown concert for the New Year. She does that every year, and I saw that several years ago. Maybe, wow, it's been a long time ago. It's been almost 10 years ago when I first came to Asia. I saw her concert in near Yoyogi. Yoyogi, I don't know if it's called stadium. I think it's an indoor dome, but it's right by Yoyogi Park. And she had a New Year's concert there. I saw that. But I'm not... I know of a few of the main big groups, but I just really don't care about most mainstream music, even if it's in Japan. Music is something that's important to me, but it's not something that I listen to mostly podcasts and listen to audiobooks, to be honest. So I'm not really into any of the modern music. Well, coffee, maybe one day you can. Just let me know. Anybody who wants to visit, just let me know. Even if it's in Hiroshima, even in Hiroshima City, I go there sometimes, so we could always meet and have a latte, even if you can't come out to the house. But of course, you're welcome to come out. Hitori says, I had to stay at places much worse and have my fair share of handiwork and renovating. Good, great. Well, much worse than this. Then you'd do well here then. I could definitely use the help. Randy was the coolest. Well, yeah, just kidding. Yeah, well, he was definitely very charismatic. You know, he's always been charismatic, but I haven't spoken with him in a couple of years now. To be honest, I don't speak with my brother or my sister for personal reasons. You can probably understand. It's just to protect myself. Brandon says, I just knew one OK Rock when watching the first live action of Rurouni Kenshin. I think that the movie that boosted that band. Now I do know Rurouni Kenshin. I saw all of those movies. I liked them. I never read any of the manga or watched any of the anime, but when I saw those coming out, I thought it looked really cool. So I watched every single one of them in the theater, and I liked them. Not perfect, but I really enjoyed them. What podcasts, though? Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't say that I specifically follow the same guys over and over again, because what I've discovered is if I watch a particular podcast, like, for example, there are a few different people who are psychologists who do a variety of topics. Now, some of them might focus on one particular thing, like, for example, recently I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about narcissistic parents, narcissistic families, and a variety of related topics, like specifically how it affects us later on and comes out in our lives as adults. So if you were an adult, like I kind of am, I still consider myself to be a child in a man's body, because it's just the way I feel. I think I'm always going to feel that way. But anyway, I recognize that there's still a lot of stuff in my life. It's not just my kidney tumor or my blood clots in my leg, or those health issues, and it's also some other things. The crap that you have in your life. Even if you make efforts to fix those things in your life and to overcome those things, you can make a lot of progress, but that doesn't mean that you can ever really clear it all out, and it doesn't mean that you have cleared it out, even significantly enough. And to be honest, a lot of the stuff that I'm listening to nowadays, if it's not a book, then as far as the podcasts go, they tend to be the longer videos on YouTube who are psychologists. I especially like listening to specialist psychologists who are very knowledgeable both in life experience and in practice about families who are very narcissistic and damage their kids, and how it affects us as adults, and what we can do now to help fix that and clear it out. And also sneaky ways that we might not have thought about, how it's affecting our lives, like how it's affecting our relationships right now, and the things that we do every day, and that sort of thing. So not to get too technical or specific about it, but I know that this house has a lot of stuff to be fixed and cleaned. But one of the things that came across some of these podcasts, the psych podcasts, was talking about how clutter in your life and in your house and disorganization can be a symptom of this abuse that you received at the hands of narcissistic parents or family members, and things that you can do to try to overcome that. So I guess you could say that I'm always listening to things to try to find ways to improve myself or my life, and fix myself either physically or mentally, spiritually, and because I would be lying if I said that I said that I was happy about where I'm at in life, like with my health and my mental state and my relationships. Then I would be lying, because I'm not. I think that I can be much more successful and happy and just I guess powerful and abundant in all of those areas than I am. So I listen to a lot of that stuff. There's one lady I've been listening to recently. I don't even know her name. I've listened to lots of her videos, but what I like is that she starts off talking about a particular topic and introducing it, and then she reads a letter from somebody that wrote to her, and she reads the whole letter, and it's very detailed, and then she goes into she marks through the letter, and then she goes through all of those points and talks about it. So her videos tend to be like 1 to 2 hours long. And I'm not one of those short attention span TikTok type mindsets. So it's very easy for me to put that on and listen to it, either when I'm doing stuff or driving somewhere, or even if I'm just relaxing or lying down. And, some days I just don't feel good, or I'm, having some pain or whatever. And I don't necessarily want to just watch Futurama or some other, comedy video. Sometimes I really need that. I need to laugh. So Futurama is very good at making me laugh. So I watch that. But when I'm really trying to learn and figure out how to get over things and get better, she's one of the ones that I've been listening to recently. But probably what will happen is I'll go through a ton of her stuff, and I'll get to a point where I feel like everything that I've kind of can learn from her, I've already heard, and then I'll look for somebody else. That's why it's kind of hard for me to tell you specifically, because I do go from one person to another. Once I feel like I've gotten to a certain point and I've kind of got the gist of everything they're saying, I'll try to go to someone else and learn more. Go check out Renegade by One OK Rock. Okay? I have planned to stay at Japan for a month, but we will see. Wow, 1 month is pretty good. If you're anywhere around Hiroshima Coffee, let me know. Maybe we can go have some Turkish food together in the city. That would be cool. This might be a basic question. What goals do you have when buying a house like this? Well, everybody's goals are a little different, Brandon, but my main goal with this particular property was to, get it clean and set up to a point of I guess you could say, like I said earlier in the video, I don't know if you heard this or not, where it still retains a lot of its traditional old appearance, but has been modernized to a point so where if you come here during the summer, you don't have to worry about things like bugs and stuff like that. And if you come here during the winter, you don't have to worry about being cold. Plus, it would have like a modern, updated kitchen, a really nice barbecue area outside, a hot tub, and really nice bathrooms and toilets and stuff and amenities, clean, nice rooms, a place for people to come to relax and rent it out is like a holiday home, because my plan isn't to live here permanently. My purpose in having this property, my main hope from the very beginning has always been to have like a holiday home resort type place that I can rent out and make money from. Well, you say, yeah, hot tub, but I would really rather just say almost kind of like a mini onsen, where it has like a natural hot tub here. Something like that at a small resort would not be out of the ordinary here in Japan. I only just say hot tub because that's kind of like American English, but here I would just say like a small onsen. But if you say hot tub in Japan, everybody will get a different idea than what you're thinking. If you're thinking like a jacuzzi or something like that, that's not really what I want here. I would want something that's more natural with like rocks and stones and stuff like that, where many people can get in and enjoy and relax. But the main thing is that I would like for this to be like a getaway from the city, but without people having to give up the modern amenities of a warm room, warm floors, lack of bugs. I don't want people to see centipedes and bugs flying around and waking up in the middle of the night slapping bugs on their face and moths flying around and stuff like that. And I don't want people to feel like they have to stay in the bed to stay warm. That's what these old houses are. These old houses in Japan, during the wintertime, there's only one way to stay warm, and that is to stay in the bed. That's why they have the kotatsu. A kotatsu is, if you've seen it before, it's like the table that's low on the floor and has a big blanket over the table, and you sit down on the floor and you put your feet under the table. It has a heater under the table, so underneath the table and everything under that blanket stays warm. And so basically the family can gather around and sit underneath that table with their feet and legs under the table and stay warm, you know. But to me, that's like a funny kind of fun thing to do sometimes with your family. But why should the room be cold? You know, and I've had some people tell me, well, it's just an American way of looking at things, you know. Maybe, maybe, but it's still preferable for me to have a warm house. If I'm not using the back 2 rooms, then fine, I can close them and they can be cold. But I don't like getting up in the middle of the night, and as soon as I pull back the covers, I'm freezing cold because the whole bedroom is cold, and I have to walk to the bathroom, and the hallway is cold, and the bathroom is freezing cold. And, you know, I think that's ridiculous. I want to have this house insulated and heated and cooled so that none of those things are an issue. If somebody stays here and they pay me to stay here because they want to be able to get away to the country for a little while and stay in an old house, but they also want comfort. You know, I want it to be insulated and warm during the winter, and I want it to be cool and nice and bug-free during the spring and the summer. So that's my goal, is to ultimately have a nice resort. I want to have games here. I want to have like a nice projector screen or large screen TV. I want to have the karaoke set up here so they can do karaoke here. If it were possible, I'd love to have the land owned back here and even have a swimming pool. I would like to have a small basketball court out here. I just want to have a variety of things. So whether it's a family or a group of friends or even a small company or business get-together, whatever, I want many people to be able to just come here and relax and have a good time. You know, like a mini resort. That's what I want. It's my short, short answer. Yeah. Happiness is the new rich. Inner peace is the new success. Yeah, more than anything, I want to be happy. And I believe that happiness does come from the inside, but that's another reason why I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with me on the inside, because I believe that conditions like cancer, like this cancer tumor that I have on my kidney, right when I think I'm doing better, something happens, and I was going to show you. Oh yeah, like this right here. I don't have an indoor toilet right now, so this is my urinal thing that I use. It just stays in here, and I use it if I have to get up in the middle of the night or something. I use this. But there's another reason I use it, is because I have to pay attention to what's coming out. You know, I sometimes lose blood when I pee, so it's very important that I pay attention to what's coming out for a couple of reasons. One is, if too much blood comes out, then it's very important that I get to the hospital and tell the doctor, because that could be a really bad sign. But the other thing is that it helps me to know, how I'm doing, and if it's all clear, even if it's yellow, but as long as it's clear and there are no blood clots and stuff, I'm happy about that. But what I really want is for it to be either clear or just barely yellow with no blood clots. But sometimes it seems like I'm doing okay, and then suddenly everything that's coming out looks like cranberry juice because it's that dark, and that's disappointing, because you feel like you're making some progress, and then suddenly it seems like you just gotten worse. Let's see here. Hot spring. Yeah, and the thing is, I have water coming down from the small mountain here. I have natural water, and it'd be really cool to have the natural water in the back. I'd have to heat it, so it couldn't be a natural hot spring, but it could be natural water spring, right? So I could do that. Susan said, I took the waters in hot spring and I'll never be the same again. I really wish there was a Korean spa around here. That's another thing that actually makes me feel really good. If I'm having pain in my kidney, I can go to the hot spring and relax for a little while, spend maybe an hour and a half there between the hot and the cold bath, And by the time I leave, I feel better. I don't have pain anymore. It really helps me out. But it sucks because it's 45 minutes from here to there, and it costs me about 1,000 yen, 700 to 1,000 yen every time I go, so I can't go that often. It's just too far and too expensive. So I'd love to have my own hot tub here, especially if it's natural water. Brandon says, there's something more terrifying than a centipede, a millipede. Well, I don't want any creepy crawlies in my house, period. And I know that some of those, like the spiders, are helpful, but I still don't want to see them. I'd rather just have nothing. People say, well, the spiders kill the other bugs. I don't want the other bugs in my house or the spiders. I don't want anything in this house. I don't want, like Susan said, you would check for snakes and spiders before sitting down. No. When I was in Louisiana growing up, we came home one day and my dad told us not to come in the house because he had to get a snake. Somehow a snake had gotten into the house and he had to catch or kill that snake before we could go in. That's stupid. So then you go to sleep worried about, is there another snake in here? Is it going to crawl into my bed with me? You know, the only good thing about, there are snakes around the house out here, but my house is way up off the ground, so, you know, that's good. But still, I would like the house to be completely sealed and insulated so I don't have to worry about stuff like that, you know? At least it's not an outhouse. You should see the toilet that I have outside. It's in the kura. It's a squat toilet, so or a pit toilet. It's just down on the ground. It's like having a hole in the ground, but if I want to do number 2, then I have to go out there. But unfortunately, because of my left leg being a little swollen, it's too difficult for me to squat. So right now, if I need to do number 2, that means I get in the van, drive down the road to the convenience store and use their toilet, because I can't use a squat on the ground toilet right now. I'm unable to do that. Do you drink detox tea? I drink a variety of tea. Of course, I have gotten some local herbal tea that's supposed to be good for detox and health from some people here in Toyosaka. And of course, I also drink some green tea, some matcha, and occasionally I get black tea, because black tea is also supposed to be good for fighting cancer. And I've limited my coffee. I love coffee, especially coffee sniffer, but I have been limiting how much coffee I drink, and even I'm a little careful on the green tea. And the main reason is because of the caffeine. I think the caffeine's not very good for me, and it's not particularly easy on my kidneys. Hot baths are the best for kidney pain. I had to do that last night. Yes, they are awesome. Unfortunately, because of my blood clots and swelling my leg, I can't really stay in the hot bath as long as I used to. Apparently it's not very good to have long hot baths if you have this condition. So when I go, I just get in and for a few minutes and get out and cool down, and then get in for a few minutes and cool down, then get in the cold just for a few minutes and cool down. Not nearly as long as I used to, but it still helps me. Is there a tub inside the outhouse building? I have a tub here right now, but it's not connected to anything. It doesn't have any, like, I don't have any sewage right now, no pipes and no sewage, so I would have to have a place to drain that water. I do have hot water. I have a water pump, and I do have access to hot water, but it's such a headache to get everything set up and done that I just prefer to not bathe for 3 days, and then when I'm in Saijo, I just stop at the bathhouse and go in and take my time there, shave, wash up, and take a hot bath. I know you have the small one with the shower head. Yeah, that's true. I have the small Japanese-style bathtub outside, but it's too cold outside right now to use that. And that's the other thing. If I want to take a bath, even if I could take a bath inside the house, it's pretty cold. So once I got out, I'd be freezing. And water bugs. Yeah, well, water bugs aren't too much of a problem here right now, but the mosquitoes are bad during the summer, and there's some moths and stuff, and little flying around bugs are more annoying. Squat toilets are the best unless you can't squat. That's true. I do like them because I think you're good and healthy, and it's actually easier to go. But right now, it's just a headache and a pain for me. Literally, it's painful, and my leg can't bend that far. So, I tried the other day. I tried, and I'm not going to try again anytime soon. Is this house more appropriate as Akia or Kominka? Well, Brandon, my house was an Akia, because an Akia is just an empty house. It doesn't have any other real meaning. A lot of people are using it to mean like a rundown house, or an abandoned house, a house that is in bad condition. But that's not what Akia means. If you literally type in the translator, unoccupied house, okay, it literally means a house that nobody lives in. And you translate that into Japanese, it's Akia. That's what it means. That's literally what it means. So it could be a house that's just 5 years old. Nobody's living there. That's an Akia. Or it could be 200 years old, like this house, and nobody's living in it, and that's an Akia. But a Kominka is a particular type of old Japanese house. It's a Japanese farmhouse. That's what a Kominka is. A Kominka is a Japanese farmhouse. My house is a Kominka. It's always been a Kominka, and it always will be a Kominka. It would have to take a lot of changes to make it not a Kominka, but it's not an Akia right now because I live here. But it was an Akia. Sniffing coffee is what a joy. I agree. I don't know if you can see it or not, but right over there is my can of coffee sitting on the table. I don't think you can see it. This is blocking the view. Yeah, you can barely see it right there. See that brown can? That's my coffee. Sometimes I just like to open it so I can smell it. Let's see here. Dandelions are the best for kidney flushing. I've had to stop caffeine because I can't sleep. I have one in the morning, and then I'm cut off for the rest of the day. When did we get this old? Well, it sucks because I've had people mention to me before, yeah, it sucks getting old, whenever they're talking about like my tumor or the blood clots in my leg. But these things are not happening because I'm old. These are happening because I have cancer. Cancer getting cancer in your 40s and having a massive tumor, and then that tumor causing blood clots in your body. That's a cancer thing, not an old thing. But yes, my knees, I guess it's because of sports, because of playing too many sports. They have not aged well. So going upstairs and squatting and stuff really kind of hurts my knees. And I would consider that more of a getting old issue, because they were definitely much better when I was younger. But yes, in several ways, getting older is not good. Hi, Brandon and friends. Hello, Peppy. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Coffee Sniver says you're late. Well, it seems I was late too, by like 45 minutes, even though I had my live stream going, but apparently it wasn't connected. I had to start it over earlier. That was crazy. I'll keep in mind that this is a Kominka from now on. Very good. You can just think it was an Akia until I got it and moved in. And it will always be a Kominka. Susan said, taking me days to recover if I stay up past 9 p.m. Yeah. If you do like I did, maybe when I was younger, I would drink a ton of tea. It just kind of made me immune to the effects of caffeine, so I could drink a coffee and then go to sleep. It didn't matter. But because I've limited my caffeine a lot for health reasons and for my kidney, I think that probably right now, if I have more than this one cup, I'm yawning already. If I had more than this 1 cup of green tea, then it probably will bother me a little bit. I'll sleep for like an hour and a half, and then I'll wake up and I'll be awake for 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll finally be able to go back to sleep. So I have to limit it a little bit also. Let's see here. Thanks for the hug, Peppy. A big hug to you too. Thank you. Let's see here. What else do we have? Do you watch 2 streams? Is there another stream going on? Awesome. If I knew it wouldn't affect my stream, I would probably have it on mine too. Who else is streaming right now? Is it somebody that I know? My stream, for those of you who just joined, excuse me, it's almost midnight. Holy cow, I didn't realize that. It's like 12 minutes to midnight. No wonder I'm getting sleepy. For those of you who didn't see it earlier, if you're interested in my live streams where I go to places in Hiroshima, there's the link. That's my main channel just for streaming some places around Hiroshima. And if you have any places around Hiroshima Prefecture that you'd like to see, let me know, and I will try to hit it. But if you've heard of Onamichi, they've got an island over there that's Rabbit Island. It's full of little rabbits. I've been wanting to go there, and hopefully I can do a live stream and take you over there. I had an idea to set up the camera and get a lot of food to feed the rabbits, and lie down on the ground and just cover myself in the food, and then just have a bunch of rabbits swarm me. I think that would be pretty funny. I think if I can get somebody to go with me, then they can help me. They can help me do that. It'll be a cute video. I was born the year of the rabbit. I don't know if you guys know what year you were born in the Chinese zodiac, but I was born the year of the rabbit. So I could be with my rabbit family when I go to Rabbit Island. Have you seen videos on the Cat Island? I have definitely seen a lot of footage of the cat. There's more than one, I think, but I haven't been there. In Onamichi, there is a cat street that has a lot of cats. I've been there once before, but I didn't film anything. Maybe I can film that one day when I go to Onamichi and see how many cats we can count. Let's see. Did I miss anything here? Daniel Carhunen had a premiere. I'm not sure, Philippe. I'm not sure if I've subbed to Daniel. Daniel Carhunen. I'm not sure I know who that is. I know Daniel from Daniel and Yuka, but I don't know if I know Carhunen. Daniel Carhunen. Have you? And Susan says, have you seen the new Ghibli movie trailer? Yeah, I was thinking about going to see that, but I almost went the other day. I saw the poster for it, but I decided that I needed to get back home. It's possible that I will go see it because I've been trying to see more Japanese movie in the cinemas recently to help me with my Japanese. But I don't think that anime really helps a lot because, you know, no matter how good they do with the animation, it's not going to match exactly what they're saying, you know, as live action would. So it's important for me to be able to see their mouth and see the people when they're speaking. And animation is good for listening, but not as much for the live action, non-live action stuff. You live in the Cat Island, aka my house. Yeah, Susan's house. You're the crazy cat lady? Let's see. Brandon says, did you think about creating a channel about life in Kominka before you bought a Kominka? Egg or chicken first? Brandon, I kind of wanted to do both. When I thought about, you know, I really want to get an old house in Japan and fix it up and use it as like a business, and maybe in the future after I make some more money I can buy one in a specific area that I really want to have as my main base, my main home. But at the same time I was like, hey, I should document this kind of journey with a YouTube channel. So I guess you could kind of say they kind of evolved hand in hand at the same time. But I did want to buy a house in Japan a long time ago before I ever thought about making a YouTube channel about it. But I would say that when I started looking at, why get my first Kominka, which is business, to use as a business, then at the same time I thought I should connect it with a YouTube channel. So I wanted a house a long time ago, but this particular Kominka and the style, it kind of evolved with the idea of making it a YouTube channel. Let's see here. Like every Istanbul street. So Istanbul's cat city. Calimero, new subscriber. Welcome, Calimero. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to follow the rules later on. I'll post in the comments below the rules for my giveaway. If you want to enter my giveaway and have a chance to win this box that I have right here that's got some treats in it, then make sure you follow those rules and you'll have a chance to win. And welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. Let's see here. It's a great one, Brandon. You should watch. Okay. I will definitely check them out. Hitori says, I'm collecting cats too. I have 5 now. My neighborhood cat is staying over. I would love to have some pet here, but a cat would be really great, especially for pests, keeping pests away. But I'm so inconsistent with things. Sometimes I have to be in another place for a while. I'm about to go to Onamichi for school. The nonsense with having to go to the hospital. Sometimes I would hate to have to get somebody to come take care of my pet. So instead of getting one and neglecting it, I just don't have one. There's wildlife outside, so I guess that's good enough for me right now. Yeah, let's see here. Will you watch the dub when it comes out? The Japanese anime dub? I would rather just watch the Japanese version. Even if I don't understand a lot of it, I'd rather watch Japanese, even if there's no subtitles. I had maybe 15 at one point. Kept having feral cats show up and having litters. Now I'm down to 4. I basically just giving them a safe place to live out their lives. Oh, you sound like a catway house. Like halfway house? Susan's running a cat house. I hope the law doesn't find out about that. One pregnant feral cat had a litter under my bed. 4 a.m. sounds of crying. Newborn kitties. That was weird. It sounds like the way my mom was, except she was much worse because it wasn't just cats. It was every animal. So, but I was always the one to have to clean up after them and feed them and water them and everything. My brother, my sister didn't have to do any of that. It always fell to me. So my mom would bring them home and then I would have to take care of them. We were supposed to take turns, but of course it always fell on me because I'm the garbage pail of the family. Recently got an adult Maine Coon. His owner passed, and now I have him. Wow, very interesting. A cat will adopt you when it's time for it to happen. There are a couple of feral cats that come over here sometimes, and I've left some food outside before, even with my trail camera, and seen that the cats come over and eat the food. So they know sometimes I leave food out and they come get it before the other wild animals do. You have 4 chances. Let's see here. Get a deer pet. Well, there are definitely lots of deer around here. If I can figure out how to... I wanted to get some deer corn because I want the deer to be coming into my backyard and get more friendly with me. But for some reason, getting deer corn in Japan is so expensive. It's very expensive. It's so ridiculous because I could go get a bag of deer corn in my hometown for almost nothing. I could just go down to the feed store or the hunting store and just grab some and put it out. But here, it's not expensive. I need to find a way to get that corn where it's not expensive, because if I can start putting it out there and stuff regularly, then they'll know it's there. And then I can have video of deer like right in my backyard, because there's a small mountain and a forest back there, and sometimes I do see deer footprints in my backyard, so they come up right behind the house. I just don't ever see them. not during the day, and I'm asleep at night. So there you go. I still remember that the squirrel. That was the coolest pet. Well, we had more than one. I think overall we had at least two. We had one named Chipper, and another one named what was the other one? I remember two specifically. I can't remember the name of the other one. But we also had, like, at one point we had a ferret. We had a couple of different ducks. We had many dogs and cats. They completely destroyed the house. Let's see, what else was there? I had a couple of hamsters before. Had fish at one time. But the hamsters and the fish were like my thing. I got those things and took care of those. But their lifespans weren't good, so that they just broke my heart. Bubbles. Calamero is me. Ah, I see. Pet tanuki. Yeah, I've got a tanuki around here too. He was up in the house the other night when I was laying in bed. I could hear him walking around. He likes to get up inside the eave and walk around the metal. I don't know why. It's like the kangaroo family I had in my backyard, Glenn says. I owned 5 acres, so it was a big backyard. Oh yeah, 5 acres is pretty big. You know, right down the road from here, regularly when I'm driving back and forth from here to Toyosaka, along this road there, I see deer out there a lot. And I would say probably within a month, just driving back and forth, maybe if it's in the evening, I would say at least 50% of the time I see deer. And sometimes it's just one, but there have been times where I've seen as many as 13. So you're driving down through there and there's a field and they're all out there in the field together, picking through the field trying to find something to munch on. And it's amazing because sometimes I'm driving along and there's so many I'm trying to count and I can't even count them all before I drive by. It's just absolutely insane. But you have to be careful when you're driving through here because you're coming down a corner or a sharp turn or something, and suddenly there'll just be deer in the road. And, you know, if you know anything about deer, if you've seen them in the road, sometimes they're just standing there and they're looking at you and they see you coming and they're just standing there like, huh? You know, they hear the car, you honk your horn, you're coming at them, and they just stand there, and you slam on your brakes, you come to a complete stop, and then you roll down your window and you lean out, and then suddenly they freak out and they run off into the woods. And it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, because it's like all the noise of the car coming up and slamming on the brakes and honking the horn, and they don't move at all. But as soon as they hear, you know, one little shuffle from you to lean out the window, they just suddenly freak out. You know, it's like all that other stuff didn't freak you out. They do some of the craziest things, I think. How heavy was the paperwork to have a Kominka here? Was it harder than a regular house, especially for a foreigner? Well, Brandon, the one main thing that, as far as the technical stuff in the paperwork, there's really no difference between buying one house and buying another. The only reason that it would make things last a little longer to get a particular house, or like an Akiya or a Kominka or whatever in Japan, is that the house might not be owned or controlled by just one person. Japan is a little different than some other countries when it comes to like control of a property. So it's possible that 5 or 6 or 7 members of a family have some kind of rights to a house or the property, and they have to all like sign paperwork and agree in order for you to acquire the property, and that takes time. It's not something that you yourself might necessarily have to do. If there's a real estate agent who's working on it, like he was with me, then they will likely do all of that for you. But that can take a long time, because it could be that, you know, most of the family want to sell it and are willing to sign and do that really quickly, but there could be one person who's holding out, or they're just really hard to get a hold of, and it could turn a 2 or 3 month process into a 1 year process. or it could be something that stops you or keeps you from being able to get your house at all. It can be that ridiculous. That's typically not going to be the case with a newer property, because they haven't been in the family for a really, really long time, and so that can be a common issue, and often is a common issue with Akya or these older houses like the Kominkas or Machias. So you just have to keep that in mind. But other than that, the actual paperwork and the processes and stuff are very similar. And for a foreigner, I don't think it's any more difficult than for a local person, other than, of course, the language issue. But as far as the legality, it's not really that much different, because you don't have to have residency even to buy a house here. Let's see here. Time for me to leave, Coffee Sniffer. Thank you for the cozy stream. Please take care. Hey, Coffee, thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. I hope you entered the contest, or you will. And I will see you in one of your other streams. I hope you have a good day and stay warm, okay? And let's see here. Susan said, how much are you able to do right now? Getting tired quickly. I've got good intentions to purge. Letting go a lot of the stuff, but the lack of energy and motivation is my biggest struggle. Well, my body is kind of deceptive right now, because I have problems with anemia and edema, and I have to wear compression socks every day to keep my legs from swelling up. But like when I'm sitting down right now, it seems like, oh, I feel okay. I have energy. I can get up and do something. And as soon as I get up to start walking around and do stuff, I start running out of oxygen. I start running out of air because of the anemia. And so walking fast, or going upstairs or uphill, or doing strenuous work or exercise, it causes me to run out of breath and become very tired very fast. And because of my kidney and the anemia, it doesn't restore the oxygen in my bloodstream very quickly, and that begins to affect my legs very fast. So if you've ever experienced that before, you'll know what I mean when I describe the legs just becoming like jelly, and not having any energy. And if I overexert myself, then I start to have aches in my kidney also. So my kidney's working hard trying to help filter the blood, because it's got to get that extra blood extra oxygen into my bloodstream, but that blood has to be filtered through the kidney, and so with my kidney working a little harder, it begins to hurt because of that kidney tumor, because of that tumor on the kidney. It's ridiculous. So right now sometimes I feel good, and I pop out of bed and I start to do stuff, and I realize, I'm limited in what I can do, and that discourages me and causes me to become demotivated. So I'm hoping that I can just get better. I can just freaking get better, and then I can actually do stuff, and obviously I don't want to pass, in the next couple of years. I don't want to die in the next couple of years. I want to live to be 100. That was my goal, to live to be 100 and have a good life and make movies. And here I am, not even knowing if I'm going to be here a few years later, according to the doctor. But, we'll just see. But, yeah. Also, the really cold weather here, it can also be kind of a bummer. It can also discourage me a little bit from getting stuff done, because when you're having pains in your leg, your knees aren't good, and your kidney is hurting, and you're not able, you just kind of exhausted. You don't have a lot of energy. Your legs are swelling, and it's like I have to go through so many steps just to feel decent. And like even today, I took several pain medicine tablets, just so I could feel better and do some things. They weren't mandatory, but if I don't take them, then I feel some extra pain in my legs and kidney, and it's not as easy for me to move around. So, But I will say the amount of pain medication that the doctor has given me, there's a ton of it sitting right over there on the other bed. I haven't taken even like 10% of it, because what he gave me, I should be taking, if I took it based on what he laid out, it would be taking it 4 times a day. 2 different types of pain medicine, 4 times a day, and that's a lot. But right now, I've only been taking like half the dose twice a day at most. And that's not because I absolutely have to have it. That's because it makes me much more capable of doing things and getting things done. And it just so happens that one of those pain medications has a side effect of being like an antidepressant. So it makes me feel happier. So, yeah. So it helps me to get some things done, to be a little more motivated than normal. But still, I'm looking for improvement in my kidney and in blood clots being gone. That's the main thing I want. That would really motivate me a lot. Trying not to add the landfills, but no one wants my junk. And around here, it's not as simple as just tossing stuff. I can't have like a big container brought out here and just toss everything in it and have it hauled out. It has to all be sorted and recycled properly and thrown away certain ways. It's really a headache. See you on the 2 degree night live stream, coffee sniffer. Heading off to work. Take care. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for being here, and do remember to enter the giveaway later on. Follow the details. I'll put those in the description of the video as soon as I'm done here. Yeah, because I've lost my entire family this year from various things. It's made me very conscious of my mortality. I see the world very differently these days. Yeah, you have lost a lot this year, and I can't imagine how that feels. And it's really difficult for me to even know how that feels, because the way I lost my family, my mom is the only one that's passed away other than my grandma. She passed away when I was about 19 or 20, and she and I were close, but that happened kind of early on, and it was expected because she was a big smoker, and she was constantly having problems with her lungs. But my mom passed away a few years ago. The difference is that with my mom and my dad, my brother and my sister, and now even my daughter, my ex-wife, all of those, these are the closest family members to me. I don't have a good relationship with any of them. And I realized that every one of those people I just mentioned, they are either narcissistic and abusive towards me, or they have some kind of mental issues and are abusive towards me, or a combination of those. And sometimes I just I feel like it's a big joke, because, and maybe some of you know how it feels to just, you're surrounded by several family members and people that are supposed to love you and care about you, and you can't even have a relationship with them. You literally have to cut them out of your life or keep them at an arm's length as best as possible. Otherwise, they're just going to abuse you. So if I lost all of them within the same time frame that you lost your family, it definitely wouldn't affect me like I'm sure it's affected you. And so it's difficult for me to tell you I know how it feels, because I don't know how that feels. There was a time when I was very hurt and disappointed, and I struggled at losing relationships, like when my daughter was taken away from me by my ex-wife, and she filed for divorce in a secret way. And yeah, I didn't like her. I can say that even when we were married, I didn't like her, because she really became everything opposite of what I wanted in a spouse. She was an abusive person. But at the time, I was still very idealistic and believed in, keep making your marriage work and staying together and that sort of thing. And plus, we had a daughter. If we didn't have a daughter, it would have been very easy for me to just, let all that go and walk away and start over. It probably would have been something like, yes, she wants to leave, good. But the fact that she filed for divorce behind my back and got custody of my daughter and claimed that I was mentally or psychologically abusing our daughter, which you don't have to prove. You just make stuff up. And there was nothing I could do to fight that, because it's literally just my word against hers, and there's no proof. But because I'm a man, they just automatically assume that she's right. Because they say, well, we want to make sure we protect the child, so we're going to assume that, you know, it's true. What? So this is the effed up world of the courts when it comes to fathers. But during that time, I don't know if you know all the details of what happened to me during that time, but I had a complete breakdown. And this was like 2008, yeah, I believe. End of 2007. End of 2007, beginning of 2008. I had a complete breakdown, had to go in the hospital, was there for a few months, and it was a really bad time for me. After that, I rarely got to see my daughter. She was demonized and turned against me, and as my daughter grew up, now she's an adult. She's a young adult, 23, and just uses me the same way that my ex-wife and my family did, as the scapegoat, the garbage can of the family, just to dump everything off. And that's one of the main reasons, one of the big main reasons why I left America and moved to Japan. But yeah, so you could say in a way I've already been through all of that loss, and nowadays if I lost them physically, if they weren't here anymore, it wouldn't bother me like it should. You know, I think it should in a healthy family, right? My brother and sister weren't close. Couldn't be around my sister because of her mental issues. I went to see her a week before, and I could only stay for the day, no matter how close you were losing that. Yeah, relationship is a loss. Yeah, it's and how you lose them is different. That's the thing. If you have at least a decent relationship, and then suddenly they're just gone the next day, they pass away and they're just gone, and it wasn't expected. That takes some time to just adapt to. Because it's literally like losing a part of your body suddenly, just whatever. But it sucks also in a different way when you lose somebody that's been lingering for a while. They're either getting older and worse, or they're sick and getting worse, and you know, it's kind of, the writing's kind of on the wall, but you don't know when or how, or you know, how many good days you're going to have with them. And even in my situation, I don't know how I'm going to get through what I've got in front of me, or how long that's going to take to get over, or even if I'm going to be around for a really long time. But you know, it would be nice if I had some family that loved me, that was close by, but that's never going to happen, so I just have to kind of accept that. My ex left me but complained that I was walking away with everything. Yeah, but you know, obviously I'm no longer a believer in if you get married you have to stay married. I do believe that you should be careful. Two people should be careful when they get together, but just because two people do get married doesn't necessarily mean that they should stay together. And sometimes they shouldn't be together, but one person is going to have to acknowledge that and do the walking away. And in my situation, yeah, I agree that my wife and I never should have been together, but sad thing is that the reason we got together is because she wanted to use me. She was an abuser, and I'd been abused my whole life. So, you know, to me that was familiar, but I didn't realize that I was getting into a relationship because of that. You know, I was young and stupid and just afraid of being alone, and she showed interest in me, but she was just, you know, using that to control me. Hey, Tori says, I know what you mean to some degree. My father was abusive, and I haven't seen him for over 10 years. And he passed in 2021. It didn't feel bad like it should have, but that's life. Yeah, you're right. And, you know, this reminds me of something that people say here, especially in Asia. If you spend a significant amount of time in these Asian countries, you hear the extreme level of focus that they have on the family. So extreme sometimes they just don't understand the level of abuse that you have to just cut out of your life sometimes. Because when you tell them, I don't talk to my family. Case in point, when I was in the hospital, the doctors and the head nurses there, they really pushed me to give them information so they could contact my family and speak to them about what's going on, or if something happens to me, they wanted somebody in my family that they could talk to. And I try to explain to them, all they've ever done is abuse me. I don't talk to them. You know, I haven't talked to my brother in a couple of years. I haven't talked to my sister in a long time. And I rarely ever talk to my dad, because he's also the very passive, narcissist, controlling type, where he always wants to inject. He can't not avoid interjecting and injecting his belief system and what he wants me to do into a conversation. There's no way he can't not do that. And because that's who he is. He doesn't, everything that I do to him makes no sense, because in true narcissist style, he thinks that his way is the only and best way to do everything. And so if I'm doing something different, then something's wrong with me. And narcissists don't view other people as other people. They don't, especially their kids and the relationships they have with these people, they don't view them or you as separate people. They view you as like a thing that they own, like a piece of property. And if you're not doing the thing that they think you're supposed to do, they don't understand that, because they don't view you as an independent person. So in Asia, when I try to tell the doctor, I don't talk to my dad, I don't talk to my mom, I don't talk to my brother. I don't even talk to my daughter, my own daughter I don't talk to, because she has followed her mom and for years now, she's been treating me like garbage. And I told her one day, if you and I are going to continue to talk and have a relationship, then you have to apologize for these lies that you've told me. And she even made a YouTube video. Once again, very narcissist. She made a YouTube video and sang a song about what a terrible dad I am. She put this on YouTube. And it's all ridiculous. So I told her, take down the video, apologize for lying, then we can put all this behind us and continue our relationship. And she refused. So I don't talk to her. You know, I made a boundary. She freaked out about it and told me what a horrible person I am. And I can't accept that. I've been abused too much, so I can't accept that. I don't care who it is. If I can walk away from my daughter, I can walk away from anybody. What God has brought together, let no man put asunder. Well, you got to have the first part. Yeah. That's true. That's true. God definitely didn't have anything to do with me and my ex-wife going together. That's for sure. That was a big mistake. Sometimes you mourn for the relationship you wanted to have when that person passes. Well, that's the thing. My whole life, I'm such a sensitive guy. I've always idealized and had this fantasy of having a loving family and having kids and spending Christmas with them, you know, and doing things with them, you know, having the daughter that looks up to me and like a hero, and I can take care of her, and having a son who wants to be just like me, and I can teach him about being a man and you know, how to and encourage them to do the things that they were born to do, you know, and help them out in life. Wouldn't you know it? Here I am, 48 years old, and I don't have even one relationship like that. I mean, I currently do have a girlfriend here in Japan. We've been seeing each other for a few months, but that's it. I've had a couple of girlfriends in China, and they were better than my marriage, but there were still issues there because it was clear that, you know, they wanted me for other reasons than just who I was, and that's a sad thing for a lot of truth of relationships. You know, a lot of women want, you know, kind of security, and they want the guy to provide for them in some way, you know, safety and protection, maybe even financially or whatever. But women want to be safe. They want to feel safe with a guy and feel like in some way he can shelter them or protect them or whatever. But in China, it was mostly about the money, you know, getting money to the parents, or, you know, buying an apartment, or giving her money every month or something like that. And I was just an English teacher. I wasn't made out of money. But I was a foreigner, so they thought I was rich and I should be giving money. So that was ridiculous. And now I'm here, and the pandemic slowed me down from getting relationships. Like I said, I do have a girlfriend, but who knows, how that will come out. I hope it comes out well. But think about it. My goal was to be 100 years old, and if I get there, I'm almost halfway there. And I literally don't have one single close family relationship that's loving and nurturing and positive. Not a single one. Not even with my own daughter. And so my childhood was crap. My first marriage was crap. My daughter is disappointing. And here I am. It's a tragedy that a guy like me with a big heart for family and a desire for loving relationships has had nothing but the opposite in life. That's why I say sometimes it feels like a big joke. So yes, I do mourn for the relationships that I've always wanted but never had. It's like the Soul Asylum song. You remember when Soul Asylum came out with the big hit, the Runaway Train song? They have another song on that same album that he talks about being homesick. And he says, I'm homesick for the home I never had. And I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, that's exactly how I feel. I'm homesick for the family and for the home that I've never had. And I've always wanted, but I've never had. Tori says, my dad was a drug addict and I was in a split household. Got to the point where I just left, and then a few years later had some dialogue, but he was still using and he just stopped communicating. That really sucks. My family didn't have, my brother had drug problems later, but while we were growing up, there weren't drug problems or alcohol problems or sexual abuse. We didn't have those things. But everything else under the sun you can imagine, we had problems with. Yelling, throwing stuff, breaking things, a little bit of physical abuse, but mostly it was extreme yelling, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, mental abuse. Mom had several mental issues, plus, my mom, my brother, my sister, all narcissists. I was the sensitive, one in the family, the quiet one, the one that always wanted to be, do the right thing. I didn't want to steal from people like my brother did, but I wasn't spoiled like my sister was. It was so many problems in my family that I was just abused on all ends, and it was ridiculous. So, but you get to a point where you realize you won't ever be able to get through them because they can't be gotten through to. You just have to protect yourself. But it took me too long to do that. Such a weird place to be in. Family is such a huge part of life in Asia. I confuse the hell out of a lot of people when I say I'm not going to family for Thanksgiving. Yeah. And even if I were rich and had the money and my family was all together, I still wouldn't go. Not right now. I wouldn't go. Even if I got a message from my daughter, if she didn't apologize to me and remove that video slandering me online, I wouldn't go see her either. I told her the last time I talked to her on Skype, I said, if you contact me for any reason except to apologize and tell me you took down the video, I'm blocking you. And she messaged me and she acted like I didn't say any of those things, just like a narcissist would. So I blocked her. She has no way to contact me on Skype now. I think it was a shame though. I don't blame him. Well, it's difficult. Sometimes all you can do is pity people when they have these problems, right? I'm gonna take this phone off the gimbal. Let me turn the gimbal off first. Okay, I've got to plug it in. I just realized my phone. Whoops. Oh, that's nice. My phone is running out of power, so I need to plug it in. I don't want it to die before I have a chance to end the live stream. Sorry about moving the camera around all fast and stuff. I know it's probably disorienting. There we go. Okay. Philippe says, narcissists view you as a tool to better their own life or just a toy to destroy for their own pleasure. Yeah, narcissists don't destroy you or do anything you because of you. It's not because of you. It's because of them. It's always because of them. Everyone else exists to get them their fix. And unfortunately, the kind of fixes that they need are involved or they revolve around power and lording over people. That's where they get their fixes from. They can never be happy. And they are such terrible people, and they know it. So they live a life of complete shame, but they can't let their shame be known. They have to shame you and try to make you feel terrible in order to lift themselves up. And the literal only cure, because you're not legally allowed to kill narcissists, the only possible cure for the situation is to get away from them. It's literally the only thing you can do, because they can't change. They can't. Hayatori says, I'll be your new son, Brandon. Cool. Come to Japan and let's spend some father-son time together. This is why I've been single for 20 years. I keep finding guys who just wanted someone, not who wanted me. It's difficult. It sucks because, and it's similar for men and women. As a woman, if you have certain things, it's easy to get a guy, but it won't be because of you. It's just something that you have, but not you. But it's the same for me or any other guy, typically. Very difficult to find a woman that just wants you for you. She's wanting typically something about the guy that he has, not the guy himself. It sucks because if you really just want to be happy, if two people are, of course, there's some level of attraction that you need, but let's say you have that, and the two people realize that the main thing is that they really just want to be happy. They can be, if they could just let go of some other things that are not important. But most people, or many people rather, I guess you could say, just don't or can't. Brandon says, homesick because I no longer know where home is. That's the lyrics of Homesick from the King of Convenience Band. Yeah, and for a long time, I still like the Phil Collins song, "Take Me Home." I've often felt like that's how I feel, because he talks about wandering and going places, and if you listen to the lyrics, it's a little, you can interpret it in a couple of different ways, but the way I interpret it is it sounds like he's been he's been like a prisoner, and he can see. He says, I can see you, but I can't remember. And then he says, take me home. And to me, that basically means like, I can kind of see what home is, but can't remember it. And the reason I can't remember it is because it didn't exist. No home that I loved. But I always had this desire inside to, quote, go home. But where is that? The best way I can describe my own home is just to say right here, my home is wherever I happen to be, because there's no other place that I've been to that says this is exactly where I belong. And interestingly enough, recently when I was sick and in the hospital, I had a few different people reach out to me, and some of those back in Louisiana, they dropped these statements to me that are supposed to, I don't know if they're trying to be encouraging, but they don't come off as encouraging at all. They remind me that my home is Shreveport, or my home is Louisiana, and they hope to see me back there one day, and that's where my family is, and that's where my roots are, and this and that. So who cares that I was born there? So what? I lived there for many years. So what? I have blood family there. So what? None of those things matter. I had some friends there too, but so what? Some of those friends that I had when I left, at the time that I left, I had several close friends, and a couple of them have maintained some contact with me, but a couple of them have literally just written me off completely. And the best friend that I had when I was in high school, he ghosted me. So what do I care? What do I owe that hometown? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. My main issue right now that I'm trying to get sorted out is my health. But other than that, my life here isn't phenomenal. It's manageable. And I do want it to be better. I want things to be better and better here, and I do want to be happier. But I'm definitely happier rebuilding my life here and trying to find my happiness here in Japan rather than being in Louisiana or anywhere in the U.S. I can't even think of a single place in America I would want to be right now. Having to go back to America saddens me, you know. If I lost my residency here and I literally couldn't go anywhere else, if I absolutely had to go back to the U.S., it would sadden me because I wouldn't know where to go. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't fit in there. I've got so many friends here in this part of the world, and I just wouldn't know what to do. So people telling me, and these used to be really close friends of mine. There's one particular friend of mine. He really went heavy on the religious stuff, a little heavier than I would like, and talked about how much that's my home. Like he was trying to convince me that, you know, I get the feeling, because he's a religious guy, okay? And I have nothing against religion. I'm not religious, and I'm out of religion completely. But when somebody who's very religious is coming at me with this angle, and it sounds like what they're saying is, because I'm living in Japan, I'm way out of God's will. That's the feeling I got. And that, I think, is racist and hateful. I won't have anything to do with that. Just because I'm living in another country, for some reason I'm being ungodly or sinful. Stupid. Stupid, close-minded, small mindset. Glad you're doing better, though. Hang in there. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. It's definitely much better than when I was in the hospital, but when I stop having pain in my kidney, the anemia goes away, the edema goes away, and I go to the hospital and he says I don't have a tumor. That's what I want to hear. Until that day comes, I won't be satisfied. Wherever you lay your hat, that's your home. Well, I got plenty of hats around here, so this, maybe I'm making a statement. This is my home, this is my home, this is my home, this is my home. But yeah, I finally do have a home base, though. That's the good thing. You know, this Kominka, yeah, it needs a lot of work, but it is a home base. I do have a place where I can come and stay and sleep and rest. And yeah, it needs a lot of work, but the house is a lot like me, you know. It's most of the time it's alone, and I am too. And it needs a lot of work in order to be restored, and so do I. So we're birds of a feather. How many people thought I'd move back home after my dad passed? So weird. Oh, Susan, it was the same for me. Even before my mom passed, she was sick. My dad was telling me, well, it's time to come home. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? Well, your mom's not going to be around much longer. You know, she's expected to pass in the next, couple of years, maybe a year and a half. And, it's time for you to come home and be with her. He literally thought it was like a closed conversation, like it was assumed, of course I would be coming home. And when I told him I wasn't, he once again, typical narcissist. What I want with my life and being a separate person doesn't exist. So I stayed. Yeah, I stayed here, and they didn't understand it. I didn't even fly back for the funeral, and they didn't understand that. But, I was teaching English here and not making any money. Not making any money. Just a little. And every time I fly to the U.S. and back, I have to take time off and spend a few $1,000s, and they didn't give me a single dollar. Why would I spend all that money to please people that I don't even like, that don't love me? They've never sent me anything here. They've never been to visit me. It's ridiculous. Why would I spend that? And I know my mom was gone. Do you really want me to believe that she cared? Wherever she's at right now, wherever it is, does she care? I don't think so. John Paul, I have to go. Have a good night, Brennan. Bye, everyone. John Paul, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. It's good to see you, and I'm sure I'll see you in another stream somewhere else later on. Susan says, like, God can't be in Japan. Crazy. Yeah. my dad, he didn't like me being in China because to him, it's communist. They're the enemy. And in his opinion, I'm in Japan, so Japan's still the enemy. He's got this old mindset, and it's not religious in Christianity. So they've got, Buddhism and God knows what else is probably what he would say. So he just, I can tell by his energy and the way he comes across about it is that's what he thinks. And I know he doesn't like seeing videos and pictures of me going to shrines, Shinto shrines and Buddhist temples and stuff. But I love those buildings. I don't go there because I'm a Buddhist or a Shinto follower. But I do like to go there. And sometimes I toss money in. Sometimes I pray there. But I'm not religious. But that stuff really upsets him. He doesn't like it. He thinks I'm paving my road to hell, And then my other friend, who's religious, all the stuff that he said, I was surprised that he actually went that far, but it came out really bad. And I couldn't have been more disappointed in him. I still shake my head when I think about it, because I thought he was better than that, but unfortunately, I guess I was wrong. Susan, you said, I was like, if I was going to move home, it would have been 10 years ago when I had the stroke. I just sort of looked at them like they were crazy and walked away. Sometimes that's all you can do because people have strange ideas, and especially if it's an enmeshed family, a family that's like of one mind, and they all think that we have to follow by certain rules. And when you decide not to follow those rules, they don't know what to do with that. It's crazy to us because we obviously are more independent in our thinking and our choices. But they have some lines, and they think that, oh, surely, Susan wouldn't go this far. Or surely she would do this and not that. Or, that's the way my family was with me. Surely you wouldn't do this, or this would be too far, or you wouldn't do that. Or you should do it this way. And when you don't, they freak out. But nonsense. Brandon says, Japan is a religious society, but not by Western standards. Yeah, it's funny because Japan says they're not religious, but in a way they are. But it's like you said, it's not by Western standards, They do follow some customs and things like that, but it's rare for you to meet a Japanese person who is a very active practicing Buddhist or a very active practicing, Shinto believer or something like that. They follow some of these practices, but if you ask them if they're religious, they're going to say no. And in the Western way of believing, you're right. They're not going to say that they are. It's very funny because my last girlfriend in China, her family was very, very Buddhist, and they followed a lot. They did a lot of Buddhist things and followed a lot of Buddhist things. But I asked her one day, because she didn't, in her regular life, she didn't live at all like a Buddhist would live, and she didn't eat. Her diet wasn't like a Buddhist, and she didn't do anything at all that would suggest that she was a religious person. So I asked her, why do you bother doing these other things that that are Buddhist, but you're not living like a Buddhist should, and she told me it was because of the superstitions of her family. She said, if I don't do these things, then my family's going to be very upset because they're very superstitious. So she has to meet these minimal standards of, going to these particular prayer days and going to the temples on certain days and like dropping money off whenever she goes by a temple, or she passes by a temple or something, go inside, leave some money and pray and stuff like that. She was taught to do these things. But to her, it's literally all just superstition, and she doesn't care. She only does it because she feels like she'll get in trouble with her family. So it's kind of funny. I also don't get the idea that has been pushed by like my mother, where she questions my loyalty to her as if I'm supposed to just blindly side with family when they are objectively wrong. Well, that's the problem with a lot of families, is that, especially like I mentioned before, if you have an enmeshed family and they all kind of follow the same ways, when there's one person who steps outside of that circle or does something different, then everyone is going to focus on that, and because you're making them uncomfortable by being different. If you're not doing what they do, they don't see you as just being you. They see you as telling them that they're wrong. I remember when there are several times in my life when I was growing up where I did things that were very different from my family. Like I got very involved at the church, and on Saturdays they had the youth visitation, and I got very involved with that every week, and I enjoyed that. It was a chance for me to socialize, have fun with people, eat together, play games. Brother John, he was our youth minister, and playing games with him and playing ping pong with him and hanging out with him was very fun and very cool. But we also went out and we saw a lot of people who were at home and who couldn't come to church, some shut-ins or people who were sick or who had been in the hospital or whatever. So we would do all these visitations, which is a very good thing. And then we'd go have fun together. Yes, and go to Pizza Hut and get the all-you-can-eat pizza and all of that. And I really loved that time. It was like the best part of the entire week. But we were also doing good things. So we did the visitation, then we hung out together and we had a good time. But my dad started calling me church boy, because I was becoming like so active and involved at the church and having a good time and being happy. It was too different than what the family was like, because I was the one that was really, really, really drawn to that and becoming happy with that, and it was really changing my life to be happy and have something to look forward to. And he didn't like that, so he started calling me church boy. And then several years later, when I was finally able to go to university, he started calling me college boy. And when I would come home on break from college, he was ruminating the whole time I was gone to college. He would be very angry and upset because I'm in university, and I don't even know if my dad has a high school degree. My sister doesn't. She never passed her exams to graduate high school. My brother barely managed to get through that, and then he was kicked out of university, even though he had a military spot, the GI Bill or whatever. He got that paid for, but he was partying all the time. He couldn't take his schooling seriously, so he got kicked out of college. I went to university, and I was the first one in my entire family to go and graduate and get a 4-year bachelor's degree from the university. But when I was in university, my dad started making fun of me, and he said, "You think you're better than us, college boy? You think you're smarter than us and better than your family?" I mean, they really took it personal. He wasn't the only one. My brother, my sister. Okay. Once again, my cell signal disconnected. So I apologize about that. But basically what I was saying is that because I was going to the university, I became an enemy of my family. So that was the second time my dad gave me a nickname. The first time was church boy. Then I became college boy. And then I started growing my hair out because I was listening to some bands that I really, really liked at the time. And several of their guys had long hair. And I started growing my hair out. Then he started calling me loser. So my loving father just always had these degrading names for me. And he wasn't just joking with me. He was literally insulting me. But if I ask him about that today, if I say, "Do you remember when you called me church boy or college boy or loser?" He would say, "What are you talking about?" He literally gaslights me like it never happened. That's my family. Yeah, why do people need to be so negative about stuff that makes you happy just because they don't get it? Just think, you're happy, and that makes me happy. Yeah, well, that's the reason why. Because narcissists don't, in enmeshed families, they really don't like it when you start doing stuff that they don't do. Especially if you're excelling at it and you're doing good at it, and it brings attention to you, not to them. Because you're saying to them in their mind that you're better. And it's so funny that my dad and my sister literally came out and said that. My mom did later on. And so they were all talking about it. But they literally thought that me going to university meant that I was saying I was better than them. But the funny thing is, today, I have no qualms about saying, yes, I am better than them. And why is that? Because I realize that everybody is an independent, unique person, and they should be able to do the things that they were born to do, or that they want to do, or that they love to do, without being judged or pushed or pressured by other people. Let me see if I can put my... maybe I just need to put this up a little higher so I can get a better signal. Let's see here. Yeah, it does suck. Fishermen in Japan often say that the fish they catch is a gift from nature, not just the result of their efforts. That alone is a religious statement. Yeah. Japan even, they have holidays that are based around nature, and they have like mountain days and ocean days, sea days, and they have all these different things that are revolving around nature. And Shinto has a lot of different gods, and gods revolving around different parts of nature and things like that. So you're right, it is very religious, but I would say it's to me it's more spiritual than religious, because religion is kind of like a more like a set of rules and beliefs, and that are kind of rigid and man-made. But I feel like the Shinto style is a lot more about spiritualism, and even to an extent Buddhism. But unfortunately, there are some Buddhists here that have gone overboard, and they've really turned it into a money-making thing. And of course, if you've ever spent any time in Japan, you'll know what I'm talking about, because you'll see them out on the streets just, coming up to you and talking to you, and it seems like they're just being friendly and they want to invite you to hang out, but they're actually just trying to get you into their meeting and try to get you into their... Basically, it's like a cult, in my opinion. So those guys are not true Buddhists. I just had this whole conversation with my best friend. They were like, you need to broaden your horizons so we can have things to talk about. It was so revealing. Well, it's interesting because, luckily I do have a few close friends now that I can talk about with almost anything, but I still have some friends that I just... And I do have a couple of friends, actually, that I've known for a while. I can't talk about everything with, because they are limited, and they just can't go there. They're still too indoctrinated with deep, solid, old-school beliefs that they were fed growing up, and they can't see beyond those things. And that's fine. But as long as they don't push those on me, I guess it's okay. It's just sad because, I have to limit what we can talk about. And sometimes I just don't want to. I just don't want to talk about shallow stuff all the time. I want to talk about stuff, that's more important. And at least the way I feel, I would like to be able to talk about things that are more important. Well, see, that's the funny thing. You said I've started talking about things you're not familiar with, so I have to narrow myself and go back to broaden my horizons. To me, that's like, broadening my mind and being more open to things that I can talk about and think about. That's kind of backwards the way that they're presenting it. Because if a friend of mine told me that they wish I could talk about more stuff and be more open-minded, I'd be shocked. Because I don't have a single friend that's more open-minded than I am. And I know that people, I will say this, a lot of people say that they're open-minded and they throw it around too easily, because anybody who says that, they typically mean that they're closed-minded. They're just saying that because they want to sound like they're open-minded and intelligent and stuff like that. And I get it, but what I found is that 99% of the time that's not true. They all have limits. And I'm telling you, I have no limits about what I can talk about. There's a lot of stuff that I like to talk about, or I would like to talk about, that you'll never hear me say on this channel. The reason for that is simple, because most people can't accept those ideas or those conversations. They'll think I'm crazy or stupid or whatever. You know, I've been through these things, and I know that I have to be careful with the company that I have, because some people can only talk about movies and sports, for example, but some other people might be able to talk about some slightly bigger things about, you know, like psychology and improving our lives and stuff like that, and that's fine. But what about bigger things? You know, what about talking about why we're here, why we exist, the lies that we've been told by our schools, our governments, the medical field, the medical community. You know, how easy is it for two different people to talk about the climate change stuff? Yeah, I'm not a believer in man-made climate change, but if I mention that to some people, maybe some of you, some people can't take that idea, and it's not because I'm right wing. It's not about that at all. It's just that I see agenda everywhere I look. Unfortunately, that's just the way life is to me. When I look at, you know, government and politics and media and movies and everything, all I see is agenda everywhere. And so take a little bit of truth and mix it in with a lot of lies, and then you have disinformation, misinformation, and then that's basically the way life is. So I'm going to try to put this up here. I'm putting it up there, so hopefully I can get a better signal. Found in Japan says, I can relate. Being from the deep Bible Belt in western North Carolina, thinking different or asking questions always got me some looks. Yeah, then I left. Been gone 20 years now, and 15 of them of Japan. Yeah, man, I understand. It's not any different than Louisiana. I was in North Carolina for a couple of years, but it's the same. It's still part of the Bible Belt. Very religious down there. And they have these really strong, ingrained beliefs. Some of them are religious. Some of them are just culture related. But when you start to say things that are different, do things that are different, they just look at you like you have a third eye, you know, in the middle of your forehead or something. And maybe you do. It's not visible. Won't. Cults, yeah. When I go back now, it's just weird. Yeah, I feel the same way too. I haven't been back in several years, but the last couple of times I went to the U.S., I know it sounds weird, but I felt like everybody was looking at me, you know? I felt like, you know, am I dressed weird or something like that? Or can they just tell that I'm not really, I haven't been living here or something? I don't know. It just felt weird, like a reverse culture shock or something. But they did respond to me weird. That's exactly it. The meaning was so opposite of what she intended. She was like, you got to talk about things other than Korea. And I say, why? She goes, so we have stuff to talk about. Come down to her level, Susan. How dare you be so open? Broaden your horizon by coming down to her level. How dare you change and become more interested in more than just local things? She started saying I needed to listen to country music for balance. Blah. I've never listened to country music. What the hell? She's not feeling connected to me, trying to figure it out. Well, here's the thing, and I'm sure you already know this. Maybe she just doesn't realize it or doesn't want to accept it. When two people are on the same wavelength or similar and they become friends, and then suddenly one person starts changing and becoming different, that other person, if they don't feel it and change along with them, they're definitely going to get those vibes. And if that other person is becoming more broad-minded and more open and better, then the other person is challenged to become more open-minded and more broadened and better. And that makes them uncomfortable. Imagine that two people are friends and they're both really overweight, but they're really close friends, and they eat ice cream and hamburgers and stuff together all the time. But then one of those friends says, I'm going to start eating healthier. I'm going to go to the gym. So they start losing weight and they start looking nicer, but they also aren't eating ice cream so much. They aren't eating junk food so much, but that's going to make the relationship very difficult. And if that other person wants to remain friends with them, that means they're going to have to change too. And that means work. And they don't want that. They would rather just try to convince that other person to stay where they are, stay at their level. And that's the same way it is in mindset, And country music, bleh. I'm the same way. I've never liked country music. You could say the old country music I can listen to, like Alabama or Ronnie Millsap or something like that. I wouldn't say that I download that music on my computer or on my phone, but I can listen to it. Pop music, but pop country and everything that's popular nowadays, to me, is all garbage. I can't listen to any of that stuff. If you listen to it, I'm sorry. I don't. Some of you do. I'm not dogging on it. I just can't listen to it. The twang and all of that stuff, I can't stand it. It's just not something I can listen to. It's like hardcore rap. I can't listen to that. I can listen to some hip hop, but hardcore rap drives me up the wall, just like American pop country. Brandon says, got some work to do. I have to leave now. Switch to lurking mode. Thanks for the conversations. Yeah, and thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for your input and being a part of it. I really do appreciate it. Next time, you can just come visit me. I will if I'm over that way again. I have no idea when I'll be there. I would like to go see my uncle and my cousins in Houston, but I have no idea when I'll be able to do that. If for some reason I'm able to get over there, it probably means I'll have some money, and if that's true, then I'll try to visit. I have another friend from South Louisiana that lives in Marshall. She was like, let's go try Korean food together, and I want to try new things. Cool. That's awesome. Go have some kimchi. Monday therapy. Yeah. Ronnie freaking Millsap. Yeah, and it's funny because those types of country, they don't have a lot of twang. Not nearly as annoying as like the more modern stuff. That whole wave that started a long time ago, to me, like Garth Brooks was the pinnacle of barf music, but everybody was going for it, and it just made me sick. Analog Andy, got to work and decided to check back in. You're still alive. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's after midnight now. I should probably wind it down. This was supposed to be a short giveaway video, and we've just been chatting like crazy, but it's all good. It's been a nice, especially seeing Susan here. We haven't chatted like this in a really long time, but I do appreciate it. I think what I'm probably going to do is put on some Futurama on my projector here, turn off the lights, hop in bed, get comfortable, and when I start to get sleepy, I'll just turn it off and pass out. But anyway, like I told you guys before, if you want to enter the giveaway, just be sure to send me all that information. I'll put it in the description after I stop the live video here. Kids pouring in now, so gotta go. All right, Andy, thank you so much. Take care. Good to see you here. And yeah, years. Yeah. It's been quite a while. Yes, that's true. All right. I really enjoyed the conversation. I'm glad you guys stuck around, and I'm sorry I got the live stream started late. I was wondering why there was nobody in the live stream for like 45 minutes. When I finally decided to check it, I saw that it wasn't. It said it was connected on here, but it wasn't actually. So, technology, gotta love it. A belated happy 4th rabbit, Brandon, from a fellow rabbit. Thanks, Philippe. Appreciate that. And our year is almost over, so maybe the suffering will finally stop. Glenn says 2 a.m. here, time for sleep. We will chat again soon. That we will, sir. And now that I got the room kind of cleaned up, hopefully I can check the where the cold air is coming in, and I'll shoot a video of that, and I'll let you know what I come up with. But yeah, that's all for now. Thank you guys. Love you all. Mwah. As always, thank you very much. Sweet dreams to you too. Whenever you sleep later, Susan and Glenn, I hope you have sweet dreams. Arigatou gozaimasu. And I'll see you all again soon. Until then, Janet. Oh yeah, time for sleep at 8 a.m. Sounds like me. See you.